Hello, everybody. We are back for one more again. This is the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion part one and part two. And as always, we are the Coastal Critiques channel. We're about to get into it.
Let's go! Hey, my sister, my little sis. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Finally, we got the reunion, both of them.
Mm-hmm. I told you, like,
I don't even know what to say. I'm just like,
there's no point in breaking it up. Like, we should just talk about both parts, because when I tell you, if y'all don't know, there has not just been two parts to a Real Housewives of Atlanta review since season 4, I believe. So that should just tell you guys, like,
that was
where
10
I'm
years ago.
Yeah,
That was 10 years ago.
yeah. Since then, so that should tell you guys the state of where we are. Actually, season three, not season 4. So yeah.
So 11, 12 years ago.
That's where we're at with it.
Crazy. That's crazy to me.
But yeah, so we're here to dish about the final 2 parts before this goes on to hiatus. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think about it? Well, actually, no, let's save that to the end. I want to do some ratings and stuff. Let's save that to the end.
Okay. Well, as far as the reunion, the first part, let me put it like this. This is the first reunion I felt like I didn't get more answers. I know, like, I had more questions than answers. Like, I felt like a lot of things kind of got swept under the rug, or we didn't go into a deep dive about it. So that was kind of weird for me. I was like, so we're not gonna get into like what we wasted time on, what we needed to spend more time on, we didn't. That's what I mean. That makes sense. Like, some of the arguments that we went into, even in the beginning with Sheree and Candy going back and forth. Not that didn't need to happen. I kind of do feel it needs to happen. I just felt like it was overboard. It kept going and going and going. But I'll get to when I get to what I mean. Okay. You know, where they could have went a little deeper and we just kind of scathed over it. You know, there was just kind of moments that I was just like, oh man, y'all missing y'all mark. But as far as I will give them this. Remember when we did our reunion critique, right? But the looks of them. So the dresses did look better in person. I mean, standing up or in person. Still the same for me. Kenya's dress, I did not like those feathery things. I feel like that was just still not the thing for me. The underboob looked better sitting down, because on the picture that we had of her, I couldn't understand what I was looking at. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what I was looking at. I knew I was looking at boob, but I didn't know what part of the boob, because usually you see the line here, and there was moving right there, or covering that, but it was all this. It was like, oh, okay. So did that, and I got appreciation for Candy's dress more because it was so sparkly in the picture. No, it looked good. I never said it didn't look good, and I like the fact that she explained why she didn't have a long dress on. Remember, because when we got the pictures, we got those pictures beforehand, right? We got it beforehand. So there's we got snuck those pictures, and then we only get the one take. And it felt like her dress, I was wondering why she don't have a long dress on. And then I like the dress, but it wasn't given like it was given when she moved, when she put it on, when the light was hitting it. I was like, oh yes, that dress is jamming. Marlo's dress didn't look so Mrs. Roper-ish, but I think it didn't give as much Mrs. Roper-ish, because one, she had somebody holding the whole dress behind her. Like she could have had a whole nother person in the dress walking with her, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, this is giving it, and then when we saw other pictures of her where the dress was more flowy, I was like, okay, it's giving. Then I was thinking to myself, she is now taking this medicine into the medicine to make herself skinny, diabetic medicine, right? To yeah,
Mhm.
doing that. So I'm like, so you go get skinny and you go cover your whole body up and give us these clavicles that's so bony that I was kind of scared. I was like, Marla, what are you doing? Her neck was so small and skinny, and so I was, and what she said, why she even do it? I want to fit into my sample dresses. I was like, what? But overall, like I was saying, the dresses gave way more. Looking at them in movement, sitting there. Even Courtney, I still didn't like her dress. She still, I mean, there was things I liked about it, but there was a lot of things that I didn't like about it. So, yeah, I just feel like the dresses or it gave more when we saw them, right up front. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I guess I could agree. I didn't completely change my stance on anybody's, but yeah, of course, you always have a different perspective and a different appreciation once you actually see them on camera, movement, sitting down, standing
How
up,
right?
walking. Like, yeah, so I definitely can agree to that. Drew's didn't look as like makeshift, like first freaking project in your fashion design school class. Like it didn't really make me more, thank God. And for the most part, everybody's makeup was good, except Kenya. I didn't care for Kenya's hair still.
No, Kenya has a beautiful mane. I didn't like that either. It looked like it was stuck.
It just was
It
not.
looked wiggish. It looked like they just sprayed it with spray. They put this body thing. It almost looked like, I'm not going to tell you what it looked like. It almost looked like she had a net over her head to hold it.
Yes, it did.
Huh? Okay,
It
that's
did.
what I felt that. I was
Like
she got a whole net on her head, holding it in.
cafeteria lady from like 50 years ago with the hair. Yeah, it wasn't how it should be, if you ask
Absolutely
me.
not.
But yeah.
Yeah, I just really want to get into that specific because of course that's how they open up and they, tell us what was going on and stuff. But I do want to acknowledge that my Janet, hey
Hey,
Janet, she always makes sure she says hi to both of us and always puts the purple hearts in there for my sister. So yes, and I go right back. Ray all day. She's in here. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you so much always. Now,
good to see
when you
you.
say Nina's dress, who was that? Who's Nina?
Drew from
Oh, that's her name on the movie.
game.
I
Yeah.
haven't watched the movie yet. I haven't watched the
No,
movie yet.
That was her character from the game. Yeah, the game.
She was herself in the game.
No, I thought she was Nina in the game.
She was Drew Sador in the game.
Okay, y'all.
Herself.
We're gonna cut this part out.
Make sure I chop and screw that part. No. Remember, she was Drew Fedora in the game.
I can definitely see. I still haven't watched the past.
See, right. Thank you. It's from. I like she's straight Drew Fedora in the game.
Y'all, give me your patience anyway.
And that's what make her so bomb. Why everybody's trying to talk about her. Tell me who else played themselves and played somebody bigger than who she really was. Not to say that her career wasn't bomb, but she played actor / singer on the show with her real name. Mm-hmm. Okay, go on, Drew. I ain't mad at you ever. Even though you're a liar. We just don't leave it.
I mean, if you definitely look at her IMDb, whatever, she definitely has the accolades to be not in this situation as we saw on screen right now. You would think, right? She's been that for so long that you would think that she wouldn't be in a situation like this, but here we go. We are.
And here we are.
Yeah, my although it didn't give as much as it should have, as you were saying, on certain parts, I will say that I definitely am left with a complete opposite opinion on one of the major things that we talked about. So we'll get into that too.
All right. Okay, well, we're gonna get to RHOA season 15, end of the season, the night in the finale, the reunion, part 1. So what I like that, you know, how Andy always starts off with a question, or not even a question, you know, he speaks to every last one of them, and it's always like almost an icebreaker. So we start off with
Yeah.
Andy sending Candy. Oh, he's in shock that she's here. You know, because she's so booked and busy. So he made sure that they had cleared it with Don Juan's, you know, made sure her schedule was.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all always trying to shade my Candy. Don't do that to her. Stop doing that. Okay, so Andy says to Sheree, Sheree, you look quite refreshed.
Scream. Scream.
You look quite refreshed, my dear. And she says, he said, what is it? And she says, I couldn't breathe. And so since I was getting my nose cleared, I thought I'd do some cosmetic and get that touched up as well, you know. All the while she is being holistic on her journey to get her cysts smaller because she's scared of needles and all this other stuff.
But you went right thing that's right in the center of your face.
And your face in front of you.
Of your
Not
face.
that it doesn't look bad. Not that it doesn't look bad. You look great, Sheree. You look great.
Yeah. Not to cut you off, I will say I didn't think that the face looked that crazy at the reunion. I will say that I wasn't like, oh my God, what happened to her face the whole time? Like,
She settled. It definitely settled. And to be clear, and to let me not retract, but if I was wrong saying that she had Botox and did stuff, and I thought she was moving around in her face and doing stuff, and it was her nose job, and her face was swollen for that reason, I apologize to you, Sheree, because I thought you were injecting your face, plumping it up, and I thought that's what that was. And if it wasn't that, and it was your nose job, and your face was swollen, I understand that as well. But in the confessional, you looked really swollen, really different to us. That's why let me pull it up because we have the picture of her like that.
God.
And I'm not trying to be shady. I'm saying that to say
it looked like she looked like she was.
It looked like she was puffy and hurting.
Yes, very much.
My is acting up right now, but it's coming up.
It did not look like. I don't think that's in that picture. Not what she was going for.
Okay, so now when we look at it now, where I thought, can you see my cursor?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I thought you could. But anyway, what I thought she's swollen around the eye area. So I was like, dang, did she get fillers right there? But now when you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, her nose is swollen. And they used the makeup to contour it, but they didn't want to contour it too much. So they left the roundness up on the top part of it, right? So when we looked at her like this, we were all scared, right? We was like, oh man, Sheree's messing up her face. So to know that she really had a nose job, knowing that she had a nose job, it's a little different. We can look at it different and can tell, like, oh, okay, it was a nose job. Hey, my love. Hey, your royal one. Thank you for joining us, Princess. Appreciate you. Love you.
How are you? I want to talk about some fashion stuff soon.
Yes, we got to get together because, yeah, y'all, especially you Geminis, y'all thing. So, yeah, we definitely need to get y'all Geminis together, and I can be in the comments or I can be on the panel, whichever way y'all want me to do. What'd you say, Ray? Too close to right. You see what I'm saying? And she talking about her ovaries. I mean, it's something down below. Like, you cut me down there any day. Go on down there.
But literally my nose, like not even like lip filler. You can dissolve those and take that out or whatever. But once with the nose, it's a wrap. Like that's the central point of your face. Like
you understand what I'm saying? Look what Princess says.
It is. We got to get into it.
That's what I can do it. There you go. That's on Tuesday. Oh, it's tonight, right? Yeah, buddy. That's a good one. She on her way on now. So yes, y'all. Thank you for joining us. Hey, y'all. We forgot to take care of the business because we always just get to talking and stuff. But please like and subscribe to both me and Barb's channel, California Cutie. That would be me. Barb's Me World. That would be she, my sis. Follow her on all platforms. Follow me on all platforms. Like it on both platforms. Share us with your peoples. Share us with your enemies. Share us with your frenemies.
Very much so, because we got exciting things to come in the next couple weeks. For
Yes,
real, for
yes,
real. So
absolutely do.
yeah, on
Absolutely.
here, on Insta, on everywhere. So definitely
It's
follow
gonna
us on
be
all of those because
uh-huh, uh-huh,
it's a lot
uh-huh.
going on behind the scenes, y'all.
Yes, y'all will be in the know and all that good stuff. So yeah, like I said, and like the video, like, please, 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 please. So yeah, so so she said she got her nose done, while she got her nose done while getting her nose done so she can breathe better. I ain't mad at that, Dwight. I ain't mad at that.
I
The shade.
mean,
But then
at the end
Dwight
of the
do
day,
that?
yes. And
Well,
I
Dwight
think he
really
took
took
his
three
down
because of his nose jobs.
he
Yeah,
took his
it's
down too far.
right.
Um,
So he had breathing problems from doing his nose job.
I'm not against plastic surgery whatsoever. If that's what you want to do, if you can afford it, then go by all means, whatever. But I just would always like it to like make some type of sense. So I mean, because it's just hard to once you botch something, it's hard to unbotch it. So just be very, very selective and mindful if you are going to have
Do
elective
a lot of
surgery.
research. Do your research and make sure that you go to the right people.
Yes.
Right, exactly, Princess. I know he got it fixed on botch, but
Yeah.
I was saying his nose basically he really couldn't breathe. We can tell by the way Dwight talked. I've never noticed Sheree other than her shaky voice. I've never noticed her to sound like she has breathing problems. But if she says she has breathing problems, then that's what she has. So anywho, Andy asked Marlo, "What do? Oh no. Oh yeah, what do we owe this transformation?" And usually when people say that, it's like transformation, it's body, yada, yada. It
Hmm.
wasn't that. It was like the transformation because remember, Marlo used to give body. Like, matter of fact, recently she just did a picture of herself getting in and out of a truck or something, nakedness. I mean, she had on a sheer outfit, panties and bra set. Body was like click, clack, clat out. And I was just like here for it all. So I say that to say, I guess really because the transformation, it might have been, I feel like her dress was purposely a cover up because she was transforming her body and she didn't want us to see what was going on. But anyway, she said
I
she's
mean,
trying to
that's
get
the point. I didn't really think
right.
of it like that. I thought it was just again for the fashion purposes of it all. But I mean, that's also realistic. She's the one who said that she is on shots, 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 or whatever.
Right.
So if she pop, all we're saying
And
is if she pops out looking like totally opposite of what we've ever known her to look like, in a couple months, y'all don't be
we
surprised.
gonna think she's sick. We would have thought she was sick. And on
Yeah.
top of that, yeah, so I feel like that was what she wore was to not to reveal to us then, but when she got it right. And what she did reveal is that she did get what? Three liposuctions. I couldn't think
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of it.
Revealed that later on that she's gotten only 3 lipo sessions, which I mean, which I know people in my everyday life that have gotten lipo. I have not,
Can you
but
can you share with me? Can I get a gift certificate?
I honestly, side note, after me working out so hard these last couple weeks, if I had the money, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie, I probably would have been like, yeah, let me just go get a toot real quick, look
Yeah,
at
but
snap.
the thing about that is if you do that, you just please start working out after that. Because why go get all that done in that workout?
It's just
That's
gonna
that's where
kickstart
you
you
choose me.
the way that you have to do a lifestyle change, y'all, when you do those types of things. Otherwise,
Come
no
on,
point.
tell him, sister. So we find out Marlo wants to get into sample sizes. So she's doing the diabetic medication to lose the weight. Looks like she lost a lot of weight. Like I said, her neck. I'm not big or small, but I don't like to see that bone sticking out, protruding, and hers was a lot for me. Um, he says to Kenya, he doesn't know if he can keep his eyes off of her underboob for the next 9 hours. That's how we found out how the dress was made, and you know. And I'm not mad at it because I was certainly trying to shake out the underboob myself. And for women that got underboob, that sweating that comes up under there that you get, it looks like she
Well,
don't have.
I don't know that, but yeah, I
I
heard about.
don't need that. You see, I didn't say me.
I've heard about that.
Yeah,
I
I only get that when I'm working out, and it might drip down a little bit, and I'll be like, "Oh, that's what the underboob sweat feel like to the women." Okay, I'll have it. So, yeah. So he said that, and then Andy asked Drew how she's doing, and in true Drew drama fashion, she says to him, looks him dead in his face, and says, "I'm doing better." I'm like, "Are you dumb? You are not doing better. I'm gonna tell you why you're not doing better. Because y'all live together, you filed for divorce, and what part of that is better?" It just made me so mad when she said that. I was just like, "Girl, look at them." I said, "This is why we don't believe nothing you saying. Y'all, like I said, it's so questionable. It's weird. You got all that going on, and I'm doing better. Better from what? Better from when? Better from who? Where Andy tells. Oh, did you want to say anything about that?
about Drew and Andy.
Drew and how she answered Andy.
No, because yeah, he knows, just like everybody else, I guess, up there probably knows that they still up under the same roof, and we think that that's probably super awkward, right? But yeah, by the way everyone answered these questions, especially her, I already knew where we were going from this moment on. I'm like, here we go.
The setup. It's the setup of it all. So then he goes to Sanya and he tells her she looks beautiful. Matter of fact, I do have a picture of her because I thought she looked incredible, and I love a baby bump. Let me bring this pic up of the little gal. Here she is in all her glory.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
4.5 months.
Oh my goodness, it's the little booty. I hope it's a little girl for Lucy's sake. She looks like she's carrying high for me. To me, she looks like she's carrying high. So for me, I'm gonna go with a girl, Sanya, and I'm usually not wrong. Maybe I'm gonna give myself 8% of the time out of 100%. 8.
Wait, I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was high.
I'm talking about specific to me. Specific to me. When I carry high, I have my girls. When I carry low, I have my boys. So specific to me, when I look at people's belly, that's what I see. But I run into other women when I tell them that, they say, "Oh, I heard it the other way around. I heard when you're high and pointy, it's a boy. And when you're low, it's a girl." Said everybody's different. So I'm not saying it's the gospel truth. But Sanya, Auntie Cutie is going with girl. Okay? Auntie Cutie is going with girl.
Baby shower on Saturday, and I was looking at my friends, and then I was about to tell my best friend to send me a picture of her stomach because she's having a girl, so I can see.
All right, send it to me when she sends it to you, and I'll tell you what I think. And I was right the last time I was in CVS the other day and saw a lady. I said, "I don't know you, but let me see you from the side." So I don't know if you was small, whatever. She was young, so she probably was small. She was all belly. I said, "To me, you're kind of high up. I feel like it's a little girl." She said, "You're the only one that said it's a girl, and you're right." I said, "But thank you," because I thought and her baby's due October 10th. My birthday's 10/20. Her baby is gonna be due 10/10. So you're gonna have a little pretty little Libra girl, and it's gonna be so bomb, and I'm gonna be so happy for you. Hey, oh wise one. Hey, how you doing, girl? Y'all doing my sister say, please? Y'all hit that like button, hit that like button. And y'all can throw some cuties in the chat because we always love a cutie in the chat. That's what a cutie looks like.
I'm gonna eat one later. Okay.
So yes, thank you for joining us, Miss Feisty. We love it when you're here. So yeah, we find out that Sanya did have she lost her pregnancy that we saw on the show.
I'm not laughing at this. I'm laughing at Feisty.
I know.
FYI.
Yes, we're in the chat, y'all. But Sanya says this was not the same pregnancy from what was on the show. She actually had to she knew that pregnancy wasn't going to be a full-term pregnancy, so she actually miscarried. So this is the rainbow baby that is due on my sister's birthday, my baby sister's birthday on Christmas, which is December. My baby sister. They had the baby?
No, yeah. I didn't know she was born on Christmas. I know.
My 4 sisters are born on 4 holidays: 4th of July, Christmas, Halloween, and one of my sister's birthday every so often hits Easter.
Mine hits Memorial Day sometimes, so that's cool.
So, see, for 4 of them.
I know a couple people that are born on Christmas, but I always think that's so cute. I love Christmas is my favorite holiday also. I just think that's awesome.
Yeah. I love Christmas too. I love decorating and all that good stuff. Tell us how you really feel, Feisty. Tell us how you really feel.
We're one in the same. Like it's not like I'm gonna sit here and be like, oh my god, let me kiss the ground. This was just so horrible. But y'all probably missed it, but I said in the beginning that this was the first 2-part reunion since season 3. And we're, this is supposed to be season 15 going on to Sweet 16. Like, it just has not been giving how, what we are usually accustomed to. So I'm good. I need a little hiatus myself too.
Man, they can wait till next year to bring it back, and I'll be okay with that. They can start at the top of 2024, and I'll be all right. Because we got enough Housewives at the same. We got we right now Salt Lake City is on. It comes on tonight. I watched it last week. I want to read. Yes, I did. Well, I've been watching since day one, and that's the only.
I was going to ask if you wanted to talk about that, but I thought you didn't.
Don't play with me because I love that show. I've been watching, like I said, from day one, and a lot of people didn't want to watch. And not to sound, I don't know if that's going to sound racist, but I only started watching when OC, whoever was the first one to come out. It could have been New York. I don't even know, but whoever was the first one to come out, I watched that one. It was okay. I couldn't gravitate and they were from my state, but I couldn't gravitate to them. I couldn't get it because I was like, they do live high end. They do live like this. I know where they live at, and I know this is how they live. But it just was like, that's not feeling the same. So with that, when Atlanta came on, child, I was so all in. And so when Salt Lake City came up, I was like, oh, this is actually really, really good. And I think because not only was it was a white cast, but they did have, Mary in there, who's Black, and then it had Jen, who is ethnicity as well. So it worked out for me. And so now, I'm all in. I just love it. What's up, my baby?
Hi, Shar.
Shar. I really love that picture. I really do. I'm gonna have to take one.
It's a good picture. It's a good picture.
One, I like the picture, and I love to show my heart. But that is such a cute picture. I love it so much.
I love it.
So yeah,
I think I was watching Orange County for the first probably like 5 seasons or so.
Oh wow, you stayed long.
I was probably in middle school, honestly, or like in high school or something like that. And I watched that, and then of course I watched Jersey for a while until I stopped. I think I stopped right when Teresa was about to go to jail, and then ever since then, I mean, and especially since talking about it and stuff like that, if a new one comes out, I will always attempt to watch it. I'll give it a watch, but I don't always stick with stuff. I think the last one I tried to get into, and I was doing some reviews for a while, was I think it was 21, I guess. Dubai? Yeah.
Oh, Dubai. I love Dubai. I love Dubai.
They started to lose me a little bit at the end. I'm not gonna lie,
they didn't lose me at all. And that's because I was. No, some of them got on my nerve though. They did get on my nerve. Don't get it twisted. They got on my nerve like how Spicy said they was wearing her out.
Yes.
Feel you. They was wearing me out. So I feel you on that. But once I get invested, I'm like, I'm not gonna let go.
I try not to, but I don't know. But my best friend keeps telling me to try Miami, so we'll see.
I didn't get to Miami, and I wanted to, but Miami be ratchet. And I'm just not saying. I'm saying just the Miami-ness of it all is ratchetness. It's ratchet. There's nothing wrong with it. I like a piece of ratchet. Don't get it twisted.
Me too.
I do. So get back. Sheree tells us she really didn't give a damn about finding out about Bob's kid that he had. And for me, if that was me, and you know, my ex, my older ex, my husband I'm with, but if I found out that my ex had a kid before I was there, which is unlikely because we had kids young, but this just hypothetically saying he had a kid before me and he didn't tell me. I mean, we have kids and my kids know, and I didn't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have a problem with him. I'm gonna pull his coattail just to say, like, bruh, I'm gonna tell you why. Because for one, we're family. We had kids together. I don't, yes, and I couldn't stand him for a long time. Like, we didn't get along all the time, but I'm saying it to say, we family. I do care if something happens to him, even in this day and age. Right now, something happened to him, it'd be a problem. Anything. Like it's not like because I'm in love with him. It's just that's how much he's my kid's father. If something happens to him, that's gonna hurt my kids real bad. So I say that to say, I would like to know my kids have siblings and to make sure that the kids are sibling up. You see what I'm saying? So for me, I just feel like I feel like the reason why he didn't tell you because of the answer you just gave us. You didn't shit. You didn't care. It wasn't your problem. It wasn't your issue. You didn't care. And that's okay. But I just feel like you got what you gave. And for me, I don't think they wouldn't do that. The kind of respect that I have for my kid's father, I don't think he would have did that. And especially brought her to our grandbabies. To our grandbabies thing? This is how you gonna bring your daughter to me? Yeah, no.
I respect that. I respect that. I can't, of course, I can't give an honest assessment of what I would do because I don't have any person that type of situation where that could even have been a possibility. Because I want to just come off the cuff and say that I would be it depends on how we end it and what our dynamic is right then and there. Like if we're supposed to be like cool, we've always co-parented very well over the years, like everything is cool, then yeah, I would look at him like, what the F?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
If I don't mess with him and he don't mess with me like that,
then he don't shit
because he did something crazy or something like that, then I probably would still have the same reaction, kind of like, wow. But more so be like, wow, like
we ain't better than that.
I'm not really surprised though. So we all have our own takes on what we would do in that situation, that weird situation.
Absolutely. I understand. I feel that. I can understand your point of view. You can only give us so much. And I respect that because I hate when people don't have children or been in a situation and they got the strongest, like it's what I say goes like, really? You ain't had this situation even come to you, even remotely been a mom or anything, but you can firmly stand planted in some stuff? Nah. So
I think you can give 99% no matter what, because I've been in other situations that I would have never fathomed. And then when you were in it, you're like, wow, I acted totally different than how I would have normally thought I would have acted. So you can never give a full 100. It always has to be at most 99.
Right. I agree with that. So yes. So we get to I guess, Andy always has those cards, and that's how he keeps the reunion going. He gets feedback cards, and there's always questions, and then that's how they move the reunion along. Or it's going to get a little redundant if we don't get feedback from us, the people. So a question that came up about how Candy thought that Sheree looked like Drew on a specific picture. I wish I had taken a picture of that because I think you said that too, Bart. I think you had said she looked like Drew on that picture when that picture popped up.
That one, I think I've seen some other ones before. Like, yeah.
I think we had a discussion, me and you. I'm not sure if
she be using so much Facetune or whatever because she be looking very different when she posts pictures sometimes. So
right.
okay.
So Candy was like, well, on this specific picture, I thought Sheree looked like Drew. Drew is chiming in, and she's like, yeah, she did look like I seen that. And here go Drew. She wasn't even saying in the face. Drew said, yeah, it was the hairstyle, especially. And then Candy was like, well, it was the makeup. And then Drew is chiming in and saying, yeah, I thought Freedom had did her makeup because that must be her makeup artist. And here come your goofy ass friend talking about, I mean, that's an insult because that's the worst picture I ever took. I said,
and she kept doing that during this reunion. I think that's what pissed me off the most about Sheree. She kept doing that, trying to throw shade back thing, and it like wasn't. It was just
that is the real Sheree and her real read. The ones that don't land, the one that sounds stupid, and the one that's stutterbox. That is the real Sheree Reed. Now, all these other things that we got through this reunion, we all know that she was coached. Somebody showed her how to do that. Because every time it came to her and a read on fight right then and there, she couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. So don't even play. It's just so funny. So yeah, she was basically Drew. If that's an insult. If I were you, that's an insult because that's my worst picture. And everybody kind of chuckled like, girl, whatever. We find out that Martell and Sheree are still dating, but they are not as close as they used to be because of all the outside noise that Andy conveniently gave her a way to describe why they're not talking. Because if he would let her talk and don't put words into her mouth, she wouldn't have been able to use that. But yes, it's the outside noise. It's the outside noise. It's the outside noise, right? Girl, it made me mad, irritated. It's the outside noise that made you not want to deal with Martell. It wasn't, he still was messing with his baby mother. He's still on his ex-wife's show confessing his love and wanting to be with him. Excuse me. It has nothing to do with that.
Stay tuned, y'all, because that show is coming back soon, and my good sister
This
week reviewing it.
Sunday.
Yes.
Sunday. Okay. All I'm saying is, I'm gonna need Sheree to sit down. I need her to sit down and act right. That's why this next scene, when Kenya always seems to pull the card. Yeah, it don't have nothing to do with the revenge P that he was trying to pull on his ex-wife. It had nothing to do with the revenge stuff. It had nothing to do with that. Oh, here come backpedaler. She about to back to the left, to the right, now. She about to walk it by herself. She about to walk it all by herself. I said, get her. She was like, what did she say? I don't know nothing about that.
I don't know anything about
I can't.
Deny. But you stay up on everybody else's tea, but you just don't know what's going on in your own front yard. Goodbye.
And shout out to Mims. If y'all haven't read or seen Mims, he did a whole dedication video to Bob Whitfield and Sheree Whitfield, and allegations and things that is out there for everyone to see. So you need to go check out Mims, make it make sense on his channel. Oh, I watched it and it was very, very educational, and so educational that Sheree should know more about this alleged revenge P because Bob threatened her with it. So you see what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it right there, honey. I'm gonna leave it right on there because that just don't make no sense. All of a sudden, you don't know nothing about that. And what you should have said is, you know what? I hope that's not true because I was a victim or almost a victim of that. That would have sounded way better. But Sheree, like I said, they don't rehearse you, if you don't get somebody tell you what to say and speak, you don't know what to do. That's just what it is.
She's just a body.
Yes. Oh, please. Oh, I didn't even talk about her and that face. And you can't touch me and my big face or my little face. I'm like, go sit down, girl. Go sit down, Sheree. She can sit with you, sit next to you. Like she said, go get your big faces up and your money. Go get those up, then talk to me. Okay.
Yeah, that was said when Candy was getting a little tongue tied herself, but
you
if
saw
y'all didn't,
she was flustered. Her hands were shaking and everything. She got flustered.
she didn't cry though. She did not cry either part, y'all. I will tell you guys that. But yeah, if y'all didn't pick up on the fact that there was a lot of delusions rolling around on this stage, there very much was in both parts.
No, seriously. Because the part where Sheree and Kenya started arguing about them, the guys that they are dating and who got the worst one and who got the better one and all that, I was like, what are y'all talking about? What are y'all sitting here talking about? It was puzzling to me. I was just like, what the Sheree, we understand you are dating Martell. We all understand and see what Martell is about. So you can't tell us he's a terrific guy when we already know for a fact that he's not. So that's one. Two, Kenya, you are specifically only dating, not exclusive to Roy. We don't even know how often you and Roy see each other. So for you, you can tell us whatever you like because we don't really post a lot about you and your boyfriend or your friend boy. So it was that was kind of weird. I was like, what are y'all doing? We move on to, of course, we still is Kenya. Are you still married? Poor Kenya is still married, being fined in contempt because Mark is finding her contempt because she's saying she is holding Brooklyn from not seeing him, and then he go ahead and tacked on the fact that Marlo kicked the door when they were in Portugal. Were they in Portugal? When they were in Portugal, she kicked in the door. Thank you, because I was like, I don't think they was in Portugal. When they were in Birmingham, she was kicking at the door and Brooklyn was in there. And so he's using that against her. And
sorry, I'm sorry.
What'd you say?
Summer. That wasn't funny.
And that's another thing. Marlo's another one that got on my last nerve on this reunion. All the whispering.
She's dangerous.
You're whispering, but we can hear you.
She's dangerous. Like that's a dangerous type of person.
That's a gaslight as B.
The person that you saw her portraying up there is very dangerous, y'all. Stay away from people.
Did you see how she was acting with Drew? She would talk about Drew, then she would talk about Rob, and then she would figure out a way to. She's a flip flopper. Period. I'm gonna leave it right there. She's a flip flopper.
I don't trust people like that. I don't.
You and I both. I did not.
You out there and act like that. Those are people that will flip on you. Like flip on you. Like in a. Never mind. Let me stop.
Yeah, let's not even. She might need a little jacket to hug herself. That's what I'm thinking. But
yeah.
So we find out with Marlo doing all that, kicking in the door down, Marlo trying to kick the door down, that Kenya says she's going to be subpoenaed to come to court as her witness against Mark because that had nothing to. Kenya did not coerce that. She didn't provoke that. That was nothing that Kenya did purposely for that to happen. So that will fall on Marlo's shoulders. So she hands Andy a piece of paper, says it's a subpoena. He's all intrigued. You know, they go to the commercial break, get you all excited, just to find out that the subpoena is freaking blank. That was Price is Right. You know, when you mess up. Yeah, that's what happened. She and what she say? Oh, I gave you the wrong copy. Why do you have an extra copy of a blank subpoena?
It was at that moment I knew that this was not going to be Kenya's best reunion.
At all. At all. Andy tells Sheree she got an interesting relationship with Bills.
That was definitely top 5 funniest one-liners. I'm not gonna lie, Andy has upset me time and time again across numerous franchises. His ways, but he did not disappoint me in this reunion. I will say that he gave what was supposed to be given by a moderator and a lot of times.
For sure. I was like, oh, Andy. And she was like, well, what she say? Here she go throwing daggers at Drew and at Candy all at one time. She say, oh, well, I don't have anybody coming suing me for unpaid bills, and I don't have anybody trying to sue me for stealing their ideas, Johnny. I said, you did not say Johnny under your breath. I said somebody really didn't tell you. You forgot about that? Oh, yeah. That she was the dude did that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm like, here she goes. Somebody didn't taught her to read. Somebody didn't taught her. So yeah, like I said. But what's funny is that Candy and both understood that it was a dig. You know, Drew got real like, hey, what you talking about? Candy was basically like, girl, she was like, yeah, you right, but you did. But what about dude? You didn't pay for the fashions. You know, the ones that's not on your website. And that man has been making his way around the blogs. He had an interview with who was that? He had an interview with somebody, and I watched that interview. Sorry, I can't shout out the person. Yeah, but I would love to shout out the person who it was. But that interview, child, he read Sheree down.
Born billionaire, y'all. If y'all didn't
Born billionaire. Shout out to Born Billionaire. Go see that interview. The guy that put all of Sheree's fashions together in 10 days or 14 days.
Some outrageous.
It was ridiculous. You gotta go check that out. It was ridiculous, and shame on Sheree for saying that she paid him. She come up with a receipt. They show some little
$400.
A Twitter that's saying that, you know, like Sheree paid her stuff, and dude is like, no, not to me. She paid somebody else, which was another subcontractor who helped bring that guy in, but she didn't pay the guy in question. So Sheree uses that as a segue to bring out, you know, she pretty much uses that as a segue to bring out her newsletter on Candy. So he brings out the newsletter, and the newsletter basically, we think what we would have thought was that she had shade on everybody that she wasn't cool with, but come to find out, she went hard on Candy. And when I say hard, she came for the business, her restaurant, she came for tags.
Clean those nasty floors. They're greasy.
That was the lazy read. That wasn't a coerced read. That was one of her reads when she went to go eat there. So that's when you can tell the reads are different. Because she wouldn't have said it like that. And even when she said it more than once. She had that nervousness in her voice. And then she said, cook the chicken. And I was like, yeah, okay, cook the chicken. So just girl, stop it.
There was no. It was the B you could never stands up for me.
Girl. And she needs to go sit down for me.
Although Cody has been making me not so happy in the last couple of weeks, I cannot sit here with a straight face and tell you that she does not look good. Like, she's still, even all these years in the game, is still able to get up there with the young girls, and she still looks bomb. So Sheree
How old is Ace and how old is Blaze?
And she's
So
still
let's
out
not
there
forget. Let's
touring and
not
doing
forget she got.
stuff.
Well, Blaze she didn't have, but she had Ace, and she was in her late 30s or going into her 40s. So let's not. Sheree,
40s.
your kids are how old? You had your kids young.
Not to
You
mention, she's able to do all this stuff. She's still touring, doing what she got to do. Honestly, I would expect Sheree to look as good as Sheree looks because Sheree has nothing but time while she's over there in the chateau doing nothing, not creating any fashions or anything like that. So she has nothing but time to go to the gym and be snatched all the time. Sheree, that's what I would
it really. That's the funny part. Like you can't you trying to compare the two, and why do you compare yourself to any other woman? That's just dumb in itself. That's why I can't.
It works.
Why she was calling about you can never, like you said, you can never, and stood up, did all this big face, little face. It don't matter. You can never. It's like, girl, sit down. Candy can, Candy can, and that's why Candy had to hit her with you low down, dirty, nothing ass B. I said, ooh, ooh, don't activate Candy because she will get you. So they started arguing. Like I said, that was just crazy. Because she didn't bring out the thing. I'm trying to move it faster than she hadn't brought out she actually brought out the bag for what's her face for Drew. The bag is not even cute. I don't like the color. I said that. Like the color of it is diarrhea brown. I don't know. It just I don't like the color. I don't like the bag. She got the what is that thing called? The little director snap. What? So
I mean, I was thinking that too, but like,
ugly.
I mean, I like browns, and I like aren't we call it olive drab?
It should be burnt orange. It should have been burnt orange. It should be cognac. The color should have been cognac. If you're gonna do that kind of brown, it should have been brown, like cognac, orange, burnt brown. I mean a brown orange color. If you're gonna do that kind of brown, that was not cute.
Like at all.
Yeah. But they went to the same surgeon. Girl, yeah, honey, they went to the same surgeon, but Candy ain't got nothing on her face. She got her boobs done. So
yes.
Yeah, nothing to the face. So Sheree gives Drew the bag. She makes Candy open it for the little stupid thing and sing. Another corny gift. That was kind of corny. Drew talks about being in Candy's movie, the past, and that she was saying how the trailer and not the trailer that the food was top tier. Her trailer, she was cool. She even though she worked under her budget, and Candy could attest that she did work under her budget, because she's been in the game a long time. And Drew also said, it was a lot because it was aggressive. They had to film in 10 days. They got it done, which is great. But, and Marlo whispers to Sheree at the time and was like, but did she get top tier pay? And I'm thinking to myself, why are you worried about it? Why are you in her pockets? Why you inserting yourself with a whisper when we can still hear you? Weirdo. That's so weird to me. And like Drew said, she really lowered her pay because she was looking out for not Candy. She was looking out for Todd because it's Todd's movie. Let's be clear. And I agree with that. I agree that she knows that Todd is upcoming. This is his first movie, and she wanted to help a friend out. I think that was great, and I can't be mad at none of that. Of course, we go back to the tired ass kiss and all this other crap about LaToya and the kissing, and if they should have sent it, why they sent it to LaToya. She ain't on the cast. They shouldn't have sent it. All this other I'm like, I'm so tired of hearing them beat this dead horse. We all understand that, Drew, you've lied because we have you on tape saying, yes, No, this is not my first time. Yes, I've kissed a girl before, and then we got you on tape saying no, you've never kissed a girl. So which one are we to believe? I don't know. I don't know. But you went back and tried to say that about Candy. Remember, Candy said, well, in 2021, Candy, you said, did you that you thought you saw us kiss or you didn't say it? She said, girl, I was trying to say face for y'all. I'm trying to look out for y'all. If y'all not out and that y'all kiss and you don't want to say it, why am I gonna say it? So yeah, I lie. I didn't lie. I just trying to protect y'all. So did you see us kiss? Yes. Kenya, you seen him kiss, right? Kenya said yes. Marlo, did you see him kiss? Well, 80% I did. 80% I did. Okay, well, 80% means she didn't see them lip lock.
I saw them
but
like this.
Barb, I'm not coming to talk to you that close, Barb. Barb, what am I talking to you that close for?
Unless I'm like
Barb,
drunk.
have I ever got that close in your face to talk to you?
No.
What we talking about? And let's be clear. Candy said they were hugging, which means y'all was that close. You're not gonna. So yeah, we had to discuss that bull crap, and Candy says Drew's a liar. Candy's pretty much knows that Drew is a liar, but Drew turns to Candy and says, "So are we good?" I fell out. I said, "You just accused her of lying on you, and you 10 toes down in it, and still accusing her and telling her stop lying on me." Called her Candy coded liar, and then turned to her and say, "Well, are we good, Candy?" Everybody laughed. Everybody laughed at that. Everybody. And my side note on this part is that I am tired of Marlo flip flopping on the couch. She talks about Drew, she talks about Ralph, but then she really wants them to stay together all in the same breath. On my nerve. I can't take it. She got on my nerve. They finally bring out Manetta and ugly at never mind. And Courtney. And when I say ugly, I don't mean the way she looks, I mean her attitude. Because I know she thinks she's gorgeous and I know she thinks she's a pretty lady, and she is. But the way you act, I can't give you that you're pretty. You actually have an ugly soul. You are coming for people that you didn't have to, and nobody sent for you. So don't do that. Circle came back. Right. Pillow. Here we go. Tell it again. Tell it again. We was all told up at the birthday shenanigans for my 50th birthday last year. Me, Princess. Well, Princess wasn't told up. That's why she could say that. But told up. Me, Princess was there. Barb, her husband, Nola Reed, So Debonair, myself, and all my friends. But all of us were together. We all stayed in the same place. None of us was drunk enough to be hugging on each other and talking this close to each other, where I look like I'm kissing somebody. Never.
The only time I'm that close is when I'm kissing. So like
exactly. I'm hugging and kissing them. Get that
like,
close.
I'm knowingly that close because I don't like I'm like weird about stuff. I don't like talking in people's face, and I don't like people like talk directly in my face. So like, yeah, no, that wouldn't happen.
I don't want you to smell my breath. I don't want you that close to smell my breath.
It's weird to me.
Yes, it's too much. I can feel the heat of your breath. The heat of your breath.
That's way too intimate for me.
I feel you. So Courtney and Manetta joined the cast, and Manetta's outfit did look better to me when she moved, when she crossed her leg. The pant leg still was boom on there. I like that. I wasn't particularly happy about the outfit when I saw it. I felt like it was too long, but when she sat down, it looked really good. What I didn't care for, didn't need, I could have lived without, was Marlo giving us her critiques of everybody on the panel. We could have did without her telling everybody what they.
I forgot to mention that I really didn't like Marlo's hair too. Like there's too many in the pictures. It looked like there was like a couple, trying to be looking messy or whatever. There's a couple, pieces hanging down, but there was a lot more hanging down than needed to be hanging down when I actually saw it on the reunion. Like it looked greasy, like she just got from the
What
gym.
here?
Yeah.
Who's here?
Marlo. There was too many pieces like that.
Oh, the wispies. It was too many wispies.
Yeah. It looked too disheveled.
Much. I think that's what she's trying to do. She was trying to go for the sloppy, I just put my hair up, but it don't look like that when you slicking it down. Like right now, if I just pick my hair up and I would just wanted a little sloppy little, and I wanted to just, I just wanted some pieces. She wanted to, she was trying to go for the sloppy look. Like, girl, no. It's too put together to be sloppy, honey bun. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. So, I'm sorry, I lost my place. Hold on. So they come out, Manetta and old girl come out, and this is where we get Manetta. She didn't really talk about much other than how she felt about them sending the footage to Latoya.
Did you sorry, did you hear Marlo, like, but as Manetta and Courtney were coming out, I think it was Marlo that said to Sheree, she was like, broke, jealous, pretty girls, talking about the ladies on the other couch. And then Sheree chimed in and said, yeah, they got to get their money up. And I was like, this is delusional. Again, when I realized, y'all, everybody on that stage was acting so delusional, because at the end of the day, you might call Drew a liar. You might can say that Candy's not empathetic or whatever have you, but you can't say that they are just some broke girls over there, especially Candy alone. Like, come on now. And Sheree, just be quiet. Like, that just epitome of a hater.
They are really trying. I don't know what they're trying to pitch, but this girl clip thing that they got going on is really, really, really annoying me. And it's this for me, what Princess says. They have face masks and everything for C19, but then talking that close, yeah, okay.
I didn't talk close before that. I'm dang sure not talking close after the fact. So
right, absolutely not. I'm sorry, because there's so yeah, Manetta comes out, but Courtney comes out, and of course she's like, Drew's a liar. Everything Drew's a liar. So of course here we come with the prop. So Drew goes into her bag of tricks and pulls out a plum, and she throws the plum at Courtney. It lands in Marlo's sheet of a dress. Marlo gets really mad about it. I've been throwing nothing over here on my dress and wop. Andy finds the plum, picks the plum up, eats the plum. The plum was juicy because that juice that came out of his mouth, I was like, goddamn, a juicy plum. I wanted some. Even Sheree said I wanted some. Sheree said I was looking at it too. I wanted some of that too. I was like, I am not mad at that. But yeah, I'm tired of that. Her props. They're falling. First of all, they're falling short. I'd rather her would have gave it to her or gift wrapped it to her and handed it to her. Let her open it thinking it's something good and be like, a plum, that would have landed better than you tossing it to her. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it just don't make sense to me. Come on in. Can you take over real quick? We're like,
yeah.
Courtney started calling her a liar and all that mess.
Mm-hmm. Courtney had a lot to say, y'all. If y'all didn't know, Courtney says that, her and Ralph, their relation is because Courtney's dad's sister is married to Ralph's uncle. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so anyway, Drew, yeah, she throws the plum, and we also kind of touch on Marlo slamming the door in Manietta's face, because that's precisely what she did. Y'all can't tell me otherwise. We saw what we saw, because at the end of the day, if I'm trying to close a door, there's no need for me to go like that. I'm just going to go and close the door. We saw her, you slam that door in her face, Marlo. Marlo also tried to say that her and Scott Lee are still dating. I myself am still not buying it, but if that's what she wants to say, whatever, we have to go with it, right?
She said they sexed.
She says that she's not in her bedroom. However, her and Scott Lee, they have
did the do. They did the do.
They have fornicated. So she says. But again, I don't really put too much stock on that, especially when we still see the chairlift in your house, honey. Yeah, okay, we saw it. Courtney is helping Marlo clean her record. We heard earlier in the season that after Marlo, after some people had broken her house or whatever, ever since then, she's been on high alert. She would like to have a firearm to protect her and the boys. And although I never really see it for Marlo, I'm not mad at that at all. I totally understand that. And she says that Courtney is helping her clear her record, y'all, with the help of Phaedra. She was very, very, very clear when she said that Phaedra is helping her. And of course, production is messy. So of course they're going to pan over to Candy, right? Because we know the history between the whole Candy Phaedra situation. Messy.
They put that there. They put that there because when they opened up the camera at that right after she said that, Kitty was sitting a whole different way. She wasn't even looking like that. I said, y'all, like you said, they real messy. I hate when they do that.
I don't know if anybody watched Candy speak on it. I didn't catch it, but I don't know if she probably broke down all these individual little parts.
I watched half of it, but I didn't watch all of it. And she was breaking some things down.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go watch it back. I actually watched the episode late, so I wasn't even thinking about no speak on it after that. But Kenya addresses the whole like Roy DM Marlo situation. And again, at the end of the day, I understand where Kenya's coming from, but at the same time, it does give a little bit of, are you just upset that he and Marlo could have had something? Are you just mad that they were in contact before you and Roy were in contact? It's still, because that's what it's reading just a little bit. Y'all can disagree in the comments, but for me, I feel like at the same time, it's just a little like, it looks like you just don't want to admit that he may have had some attraction to Marlo in the past. But nonetheless, Kenya says that what really took it over the edge and why we may have not seen as much of Roy as we would have liked is because of some supposed comment that Marlo made about him popping her cherry, and being the upstanding businessman that Roy is. Apparently he caught wind of that and I guess decided to bow out gracefully from filming a lot. But at this exact moment, you hear Andy chiming in as well. And he's kind of like, well, if that happened at that time, we had already stopped with the super teaser was out. So again, this was another moment where like, yeah, this is not Kenya's best reunion because it just wasn't, all the dots were not really connecting in a way that made her look that great at all moments. That's just my opinion, y'all.
I feel like to me, she kept her shutting down Marlo and not talking to her was not the best thing she should have did. I feel like she should have really addressed Marlo and clowned her every chance she got. And this season, instead of giving her no energy, it fell flat for everybody because we're so used to her having a sparring partner. And at the same time, I understand it because I feel like she knows that Marlo is like low-hanging fruit. It's easy to read her. It really is.
I agree.
For Kenya. For Kenya.
She was trying to go after her so much that, yeah, it was coming back, not making her be painted in the best light at all times. It somehow kind of backfired a lot of times.
Right. All right, where were you at?
Just about Marlo and Kenya going back and forth about RHOA for a second, and then the next thing I had was they discussed the whole collusion incident once for the umpteenth time.
Oh gosh,
Sonya really irritated me in this moment. I will say that she really did, because she's always trying to cape for one side and trying to chime in and say that she's not biased, but all we ever see is her being biased, I feel like.
they're gonna use Sanya as much as possible. Just like Candy said, Sanya, you're arguing with me, you're arguing a point for somebody else. Why are you doing that? This don't have nothing to do with you or me, or really you for sure. And here you go putting your 2 cents in. So I feel like Sanya thinks she's doing well or trying to have a voice, but some of the stuff she say either don't matter or it's too late. It's just too late for you to be talking about it.
Because it reads that you are biased. Like I think she said something along the lines of like, it's an unfair categorization, because how they were feeling a way about how they were openly discussing Drew or whatever. It gave that, okay, yeah, it was an unfair assessment because y'all were really just sitting there empathizing over Drew's lying. That's what it gave at the end of the day. It's all cool, but you were still talking some BS. Like, no matter how you want to paint it, she wants to dress up BS, I feel like. And we're not buying it. We see that you're being biased. Very much so.
The other thing I didn't get a chance to respond to was when you talked about Manetta getting the door slammed on in her face, and how Sheree, she called them hyenas, and Sheree was really coming for her. And it's weird because even Drew, watching the playback, had to ask Sheree, so how did you feel when you saw playback? And she deferred from what she should have said, was like, yeah, Marlo did slam the door and that was messed up. But she didn't. And then it was like she doubled down on it again, knowing that Marlo made a bad decision trying to slam a door. That's why the door was heavy with your weird self. And then Manetta, bringing it to the forefront when it happened and still diffuse it. And what killed is when goofy ass Sheree talking about, I was just trying to be the peacemaker.
So you ignore the truth?
Find out what happened? Peacemaker.
So you ignore the truth? Like,
right. Marlo, did you try to slam it in her face? Like, did you really, did you? Because you my girl, just tell me. Then I'll know how to handle it. But if you don't tell me and I don't know the facts, I'm not about to go to the person that got the door slammed in their face, who she behind, who, like you said, you was 2 people, 3 people behind her. If the person that got the door slammed in their face says that, and they're that irate, you don't go to that person and make it seem like that she didn't do that. That's not what she did. You go find out from the person that did it. Did you really do that? Is this what you did because you didn't want to? You wasn't being a peacemaker. You know goddamn on well that weird woman, Amazonian at that time, would push that door on her, and it fell short because the door was heavy. And if it was no, sister, now what do you think would have happened if the door would have really hit Manetta and it wasn't a heavy door?
Well, if Manya is a better woman than I would ever be in that situation. And I think Sheree even said something along the lines of like, oh, we'll go with your gut instinct or something like that. And it's just like, that's not what you were saying when you were there. Like, you can't go as hard for peacemaking, so much so that you ignore the truth, or at least the only reason why she's even trying to justify it and say she was trying to peacemake or whatever is because we saw the footage and there was no denying that she slammed that door in her face. That's the only reason. If there was no footage of that, Sheree would still be backing Marlo up. Hey, Vet.
I put on our title. That's funny. Let me see if I can get hey, Vet. Love to see the heart in the world. I know what that means. That means the love for my sister Barb. That's what it looked like, y'all. Give us a heart in a world that is for Barb. So I had to go back to that because I had stepped away when you talked about it. And when I went through my thing, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, she right. That right there was just like uncalled for. You didn't need to do all that. I didn't like that. Anyway, getting we find out, we talk about Kenya's soft opening, and we were all puzzled, at least I was puzzled, the fact that it was on the show. And now we find out that she's under construction. She's getting her second floor done, and instead of opening and then having a real opening and then doing construction, she wants to have it both done. So she's gonna do her grand opening, I'm sure, and within like probably the next 6 months or so. So that was kind of cool, to find that out, because I was like, why we didn't get none of that other than the floor plan and what it was gonna look like.
I understand why she's doing that. That's actually smarter than like what she said, shutting back down just to do more of the renovations or whatever. Like, just do it all at once.
They also posed a question about Candy either not being there or leaving early on the trips and stuff. And Candy, she said she was under a lot of stress. She had did the SWV Escape SWV show, TV show, reality show, on top of the fact her bandmates were feuding, on top of the fact they still had to go do concerts and figure out how they were going to do that with just 3 of them and not 4 of them. And then on top of that, she was getting ready for her play, on top of they was filming for Housewives. So she was just saying, she bit off more than can chew. So she came in hot season, and she recognizes, and that's another thing I do, like, I gotta give to Candy. When it's time for her to show up or take responsibility for things that she's done, whether it's that or something about her business, she didn't always have an A, and now she does. But when she didn't, she addressed it, and now it's better. So, there's a lot of Candy haters. I'm not a Candy hater. I like Candy. I've always liked Candy, and I'm not mad at the people that don't like Candy. That's on you. And I know some people. I know some people. Go this way. I know some people that don't care for Candy. But what I'm saying is, I do like the fact that she will take responsibility for the most part about that. So anyway, they did bring up Manetta, and how Manetta brought up that Drew said that, about the crush on Ty. We find out Ty was brought to the movie set because of what Drew said. And we were unclear about that, but now we know, because it got around to not one, but 2 or 3 people, and those people chose to bring Ty into the fold and see what it do, boo. And the rest sounds like pretty much history. Drew was talking about the core. I mean, they were talking about how they thought Candy was, trying to coerce her into, because of the movie. No, that's untrue. It's all because of what you said about Manetta about the crush. Of course, Drew and Courtney get into it. Courtney comes out hot, because the first she basically says is Drew is a liar. That's one of the first things she said, right? And it's like, girl, she's so annoying to me. I just love the fact that Drew kind of went off on her. She told her she's gonna listen to. You need to listen to me. Keep my son's name out your mouth. Stop doing that. Courtney was very disrespectful. She wouldn't let her talk, kept talking over her. I can't stand when people do that, because I feel like you are doing that because you really don't have a leg to stand on. So instead of letting the person that has a leg to stand on talk, you talk over them. And that's what she kept doing the whole time that Drew was talking. And I didn't appreciate it at all. And they were really arguing about the fact that Courtney was on tape, which she said she knew she was on tape, but then she was caught on tape saying that Drew only wants Rock to wanted her to adopt her son so that she can go have a lesbian relationship and that Ralph could pay the bills.
Like, what is that even? What? Like, it was the fact that she came off the cuff acting as if she knows this woman's husband better than she does. And you just came in a picture. Cousin or cousin, no cousin. What is it? Fake, unverifiable cousin Courtney.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I'm just like, the way she was even sounding was irritating me. She was moving like a weasel. There was way too much coming from that angle. And if I was Drew, I would have been saying exactly what I was saying too. Like, okay, so what we're not going to do is say anything that can make my children feel any type of way. I can't fault her for that at all.
At all. So they end up going into part 2, but that's how they ended part 1 with them arguing. And then we roll into part 2. And sister, you want to take over from Chia?
I can do that, y'all. Part 2 basically picked up right where part 1 left off, which was with them still arguing and going back and forth. So much so that Sonia took it upon herself to say kids should be off limits. And I was like, Sonia, are you new here? Did you just come like here from like Mars? Because last time I checked, yeah, that's how it should be, but nothing ever goes how it should be on this platform. So yeah, you should tell that to the girl sitting to the left of you, because she's the one who started and brought kids into this by saying the things that she was saying, which were very displaced. But anyway, and Kenya, you also she also was like yeah, kids are off limits. Whatever. Anyway, Andy then asked Drew, did she see Ty in Texas? And y'all, this is why it's important to always tell the truth, because Drew was giving us very much boy who cries wolf. And a lot of people are having an issue going up for Drew because she has said some contradicting things in the past that make her look like a liar. Drew Madison caught up, and Courtney told her. Yeah, I agree. But Courtney affirmed that Ralph told her about wanting a divorce after obtaining all the evidence, and that came after Portugal. She says that he was just so devastated. I don't believe that, but okay. And go to what I said before. When Andy asked her that question, she was like, yeah, I saw her game, and it's just like, okay, Drew, you're not making yourself look too great in this situation, if you ask me. But anyway, and before we quit, Andy then asks Candy what she knows about the whole Drew Ty thing, and Candy says that Drew said to her that Ty was her girl crush while she was on set. And somehow, I didn't exactly write this part down, but somehow that got back to Candy's makeup artist, I believe. And she is the one who then invited Ty on set. And then she was coming back and forth on set, I guess, for the remaining 10 days. I don't know what day that occurred on, but she came and looked like she never left. Are you there? Oh, you're on mute. Okay, my bad. So then Sheree also affirms this by saying that she was given information a few days ago. It was dropped off at the front doorstep of the chateau. I'm sorry that I'm making these faces, y'all. I'm just having a lot of issues with the fact that, Last time I checked, Stray lives in this huge house, probably behind the gate. So I just find it very bizarre that someone was just able to just waltz up to your front door, unbeknownst to you, and drop off said evidence. I find that very, very hard, but we'll move right along. So then said messages get passed around. We don't ever get to see the messages. And this is when I was very, very frustrated, y'all, because why would you guys introduce something and then you're not even going to show us? So we have no idea what these things say. But apparently they weren't incriminating until they were incriminating. And that was said by Kenya and Andy. Yeah, you were frozen for like a good minute though.
My computer, I was trying to unmute it, would let me unmute it, would let me do nothing. And right now, like it's my computer's acting all the way. But you can hear me. Like I don't even know if I can come in and come back out, but I can hear you now. I'm just gonna unmute myself. You should. I'm not gonna mute myself. No, we're good, right? Hopefully, but I need to come off camera, and it won't let me even come off camera. So my computer is acting really weird right now. But you can hear me because it said my mic wasn't working at first, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, because it's like pixelated.
It's glitching.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the studio and I'm gonna call you back. Hopefully,
it won't. Yeah, you can leave and come back. It won't. It shouldn't stop it. It should.
Right. Okay.
But y'all, as my sister gets her computer back booted up in StreamYard, because you know how StreamYard can be sometimes, I would just say that the texts get, I guess, messages, whatever, they get passed around. We don't get to see them. So who knows what that was said. But Drew, I don't know if you guys clocked this, but I know I did when Drew slipped it in there that Ralph has single-handedly beat the IRS. If that was not a, hey, IRS, please look into Ralph Pittman's stuff, I don't know what was. I wouldn't be surprised if they come knocking on your door, Ralph, but that's between you and the R and the S, not me. So then we briefly cut to lunch, and this is when, and I hope my sister comes back up in here fast because I know she has something to say about this, because I know I do. We get Courtney stopping by Ralph's dressing room as he's getting glam. Yes, I said glam because, you know, he's ready for his he's ready to be all up in the camera because we know he wants to be a peach holder very, 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 very bad. But we get Courtney entering Ralph's dressing room to tell him sweet nothings, I don't know, to tell him, oh, he's got to stop letting Drew treat him like this, or he's got to, you know, he's got to stop. And she gives him the warmest non-cousinly hug, y'all.
Oh my God.
About that hug. Nothing cousinly about that hug.
That hug made me so nervous. I watched it with my goddaughter today, and she kind of watched the show a little bit. But I said, "Look at the cousin's hug." She said, the way she put her breast on him is the way you want. That's when you want to have sex with somebody. I said, if they have not already did so. I was just like, even where the placement of his hand on the small of her back. I said, yeah, okay.
Way too comfortable with one another. Way too familiar. Way too not. I don't hug. I have a lot of cousins, y'all. I don't hug not near one of them like that. Never have.
We almost hug from the side. Unless I ain't seen you in years. Then I might give you a real hug, like, oh my God. Like when I go to Louisiana and go see my cousins. I haven't been to Louisiana. Well, I've been to, you know, we went to New Orleans, but we went, been to Shreveport. was 2009. I hadn't even had my baby yet. I was pregnant with him and didn't even know. So when I go see those cousins, oh, we gonna hug for a minute. It's gonna be a nice hug, but not kind of hug. Not that kind.
There's a difference, y'all. There's a difference. And what we saw was extra
and those are my real cousins. Those are my real cousins, not married into cousins.
Oh yeah. Like we don't do that over here. So I'm I was really confused. And who pops their head in? But Allison, hot on her heels. Ooh. Hot on her heels. She tries to open the door. Courtney tries to close it back. And she said, don't be closing doors in my face. That's what we're not going to do. And I didn't really pick up verbatim what Courtney said, but she said something.
The B word.
B word came up again. Yeah, the B word that Courtney says that she doesn't say, but she said it again right here out her mouth. Heard it again. Yes. Yeah, she's very familiar with that word. She said it, and Allison clocked it right then and there and said, "Oh, but last time I checked, I thought you didn't say that word." I do now. Okay.
Oh, you sound just like that raspy troll. She sounds like a troll. She sounds like a troll.
Not a good voice. I'm actually very I'm not even proud.
Allison was there wrong for what? Right. What was she? What is she dead wrong on, Allison? What is Allison dead wrong on?
I can't even say she's wrong because I would have did the same thing regardless. Yeah, maybe because now,
she did wrong for telling her to don't close the door on her.
But what was Allison doing?
Why are you closing the door on Allison? Why are you even doing it? If you're going in there to talk to Ralph, then go talk to Ralph.
I'm totally on she technically didn't have a reason to be coming in there from what I thought, since Drew and him are like, I understand why it may have been like, oh, maybe she had no reason in there, but at the same time, I'm not mad. I would have did the same thing. I'm supposed to be up in here or not. I'm up in here, and you're not going to slam doors in my face, period.
I just don't see Allison being wrong on this part. If you slam it, because the thing was, she went to close the door, and then she said, don't go closing the door on me. And then she called it a B word and continued to try to close the door. So for me, I'm like, why do you need the door closed to talk to Ralph? Are you about to talk about me and my sister? Even though I don't even think she was thinking that. Just why are you closing the door? Why does the door need to be closed? To me, I feel like that's Courtney started it. Like, why do you didn't need to even do none of that? You could have looked back and gave her the look and continued talking to Ralph. The door never needed to be closed, in my opinion. And then you took it a step further by cussing her out. So to me, that was kind of weird.
Like I see what Ray's saying. Hey, cousin.
Sorry, my thing is acting up, so I gotta look on my phone because 2 comments is up on my computer, but on here
they've been hunching all over Tampa, allegedly.
Let me show them. Let me go to Ray. I'm sorry. Let me see what Ray said real quick.
That's what I'm saying. I understand what Ray's saying all day. However, I'm still not on Team Courtney, regardless. Although Allison may have not had a vested interest in being in there, other than her seeing a glimpse of Courtney possibly going in there and being like, oh, like I totally understand that, but at the same time,
I don't think that
I avoided if she didn't come in there.
I don't think she was walking in there. I think she was walking past, and Courtney saw her walking past and started closing the door, and that's when Allison said, "Don't close the door on me." Because I don't think she was walking in. I think she was walking past. And if we meet eyes and we're not good, or you talk mess about my sister, I probably did give you a dirty look. And she probably, when she turned around and closed, thinking, well, I'm just close the door on this. I think they met eyes, they looked at each other, and she was mad. I don't think that Allison was going to go talk to Ralph about what. She wasn't walking in that room. She was walking past that room. And they probably locked eyes, and Courtney waxed self, made me close the door, and she's like, "Don't close the door on me." I didn't see it that way. Not saying y'all right and I'm wrong. I mean, I'm right and y'all wrong. I'm just saying I didn't see it that way. So, but if Barb says she agrees with you, then that's the way you guys saw. I didn't see it that way.
Well, I see it both ways. I see it completely both ways. I can see it.
What? I can't with Ranty. She wanted that door closed. Get that hug.
These people are so wild to me that I can see it every way. I can see it happening your way, Ray Ray's way, Ranting's way. I can see it all ways because you never know when you're messing with weird people like them.
Okay, Vivette, you say Courtney saw her. I mean, Ralph saw her first, but what did Ralph say something to Allison? Because I'm thinking about, I saw it twice and I still not sure why would Allison want to walk in there, talk to Ralph, especially with Courtney being in there. Like that's just not what I see.
I understand what you're saying.
Courtney didn't see her first. Ralph did. I don't. Okay. I don't want to. I was just trying to get some more feedback. Let me see what Ray said. And then we can go on. I don't know why my reviews. Oh, you know what? My before I came on live, it said, "Do you want to do a update?" And I was like, "No." Should have did the update. Should have did the update.
On your computer?
Yeah, it's on my computer.
Yeah, maybe that. Yeah.
It's what it is. It has to be. If Allison was walking past, why be so concerned about the door closing? Because I don't like you. And I'm not talking to you, Ray, but I don't like you. I don't like the way you didn't met my sister's husband 2 days ago. And I don't like y'all relationship. If that's my sister, no. No. I am so not feeling it for Courtney, and that's probably why I'm more biased. I don't feel like Allison came to do anything but exactly what she did, which was to support her sister. And Courtney thinks that she is funny by closing the door in front of her and then standing 10 toes down and calling her the B word. She better be lucky she only got, I thought you didn't use the B word. She better be lucky. Because if it was me, she would have got her face mushed.
She's so unnecessary.
That's all I'm saying. That's on real. I'm just telling you. That's how I see it. I just don't see Allison was trying to walk in that room at all. But go ahead. Next. Sorry.
Because while we see them, we get a glimpse of Sheree and freaking Marlo in one of their dressing rooms giggling about I think they were giggling about Candy, saying that Candy's always talking about Sheree on her speak on it or whatever. I think that's what they were talking about. They was definitely talking about somebody. Y'all can drop in the comments if you remember, but they were simultaneously snickering in their dressing room. You know how they always do. And finally, once everybody gets back from lunch and we resume, we finally get some like little bit of less serious flashbacks, just a little touch. And of course, it's because we're talking about sexual things, and we're talking about and threesomes and things, all of that sort. And we know that Candy is the resident sexpert over there, according to them, so to speak. And she, I don't believe, what was it, Andy or Kenya? I don't know. It was one of them. Asked her, what is the wildest thing she's done, or something like that. And I don't think she asked the wildest thing, but she did affirm that she has had.
Or how many? Kenya said, or how many?
Yes, she said, or how many? And Candy
said, we already know you did a threesome before. So
four myself. So that's, yeah. I mean, if that's what they want to do, I don't care what anybody does in their bedroom. That's on you. But
it was a treat. It was everybody asking, so how do you do that? What do you do? Do you tag team? Everybody want to know something. Everybody want to know something.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but maybe that's just me. I don't.
They want it blow by blow. They want Candy to tell it all, honey. Please.
So And then Milo. This is like the best thing she said. The only good thing she said. Because Scriven else, she said the best sex she's ever had was with a Gemini.
Lord have mercy. But here's the thing. I'm gonna pose it to how she keep posing Drew. Was that a lady or a man? Since you want to be funny all the time.
You better be now that question you gotta direct to her.
I'm talking to her. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to her.
No,
because she said was her best sex was with a Gemini. She didn't say with a Gemini man. She said it was with a Gemini. So next time, be a little bit more specific.
Stop being so vague.
And then, like I said, Andy saved her with. Oh, don't tell everybody about our sex life. I said, Andy, shut up.
I was just like, okay. At that point, then I was just like, okay, I'm done with the conversation. And
we just started part 2, Cleo. We just started part 2. We just on the reunion, part 2 of the reunion. We did both of them, so you're good. Thank you for joining us. Hit the like button on both our please. We appreciate you.
Thank you. We then turn over to Sonia, her family woes, and more disheartening topics. We don't really have to spend too much time on this for lack of, just the severity of the situation, because we discussed this in our last episode. But we all know that when she was initially pregnant with her previous pregnancy, it was not viable, and she had a very, very, very bad miscarriage while she was actually in New York on business. So she then segues that into saying that she was, when she was going through that, such a traumatic situation, she just, she expected more from Kenya. She was disappointed because initially everybody did immediately respond. However, directly following, we have Sheree sending flowers. She got a phone call from Candy. Although Drew was going through her own things, they did eventually touch base. Marlo sent her some Uber Eats and some flowers, and she didn't get anything from Kenya. And Kenya is like, no. I actually did reach out. You did not answer, honey. Like, so we can agree to disagree, or we could just leave it there because I did call you.
But did you leave a message?
I guess.
Did you leave me a message?
Because
it could be. And I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying when she say she called, that means you missed a missed call, and or usually there's a voicemail behind it. But I mean, they're both busy type of people. So if she says she called, I believe she called. I believe she called. I don't think she's lying.
And people like me, I miss calls all day. I miss calls all day because I have a horrible signal here. So, and I don't always get that. So it could go either way, y'all. We'll never know. Right. So it is what it is. And Kenya, she says that she definitely have no mistakes. She definitely felt away by everything because they were supposed to get pregnant together. They kind of had this whole we're gonna be pregnant twins together or whatever, and they kind of built a bond over that. So she said that, I guess, in her defense of saying I did care, so don't ever think I didn't. And then Andy asks Sonia about where things are with her and her parents. I think it was a viewer question, and because from what we've seen, sometimes things don't always look like sunshine and rainbows over there. And the rest of the audience wants to know as well, it kind of comes off sometimes that you treat your family kind of poorly. It kind of looks not too nice over there. And of course, Sonia denies treating them poorly. She says, it's difficult at times, but at the end of the day, as it pertains to how I told my sister that I need her to move out, I don't regret how I said that. So yeah, that's where we are with that. Her family has moved out, y'all. They have moved out about 10 minutes away. So I guess that's progress in that department. I hope everybody's happy. I hope it was a good move for everybody. We don't need to talk about that next season. If there is a next season, we'll see. If she's on next season, like these are all question marks, so we don't even know. And then Andy directs the baby questions to Kenya. We know that throughout this season, Kenya has been mulling over the fact of becoming a mom of 2 instead of just a mom of 1. And we find out finally that Kenya does not plan on carrying or even going the surrogate route. She is going to adopt. And Brooklyn is now saying that she wants to have a little sister. How do you feel about all that?
I don't think that she should have a baby only because Brooklyn wants the baby. Because little kids say things when they're young and when they're, kids, and they don't really know fully what they're saying. So, I'm not saying she shouldn't listen to her baby. I'm just saying sometimes you just don't have to do it that way. You want her to have a playmate, buy her a puppy. Find other children that are her age and take her to like the daycares or the gymborees and all these other places so that you can have a play date and she can have a best friend from this age all the way up. That's what you should do, if anything. So, but I don't want to tell a woman about what she should do with her body or what she shouldn't do. I'm glad she chose not to go with the surrogacy and have Mark's kid. I'm happy about that because I feel like that's not cool. He can always come back and do something.
Option.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I'm okay with her. I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with her not doing that. And if she really wants 2 children, oof. I just feel like, and I'm not an adopted mother, so I don't know, but I just feel like sometimes, you just hear stories about how mothers, treat the adopted kid not like their own kid. Not saying she would do that, but, I just feel like.
Or just not being the best fit, maybe. Like,
the fit. There's a lot of kids out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying nothing against troubled children. They still need the help. And if somebody in Kenya's capacity that has enough money to take care of another kid, by all means. We find out she's a great mom. So I just wanted to have the baby for the right reason. That's all. And the fact that she wants to have, a baby that's already, potty trained and all that part is hard. Potty training was hard. So I ain't mad at that part either. That part is really hard. And if you can get that part done, then kudos to you.
Yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from. I hope she does make the best decision for her and her family. It's a big decision to make. So I understand how she's not so quick to just have said yes, no, or go whatever direction. That's a lot of thinking. But right. After we discussed that, then we talk about I lost my place. Hold on. Oh, so then Andy asked Sonia about, like, how can you call Kenya a friend? Or someone asked this question, I should say. How can you call Kenya a friend when one moment, like, she's helping you raise money, everything's all good, but then in the next moment, you're low-key shading her relationship. And Sonia's like, what are you talking about? When did I do that? Apparently she has amnesia. And Kenya calls Sonia out for being, like I've been saying this whole time, not unbiased. Like, you're always so quick to call out everybody else, but you don't be calling out Marlo. And if you guys didn't on to what I was getting at, Sonya low-key threw some shade when she was like trying to equate the Martell situation, messaging situation to Roy and Marlo DM situation or whatever. She was trying to draw lines between those things. And it's again giving that you don't ever see Marlo for anything that we see her as. She's always good in your book. And people are really catching on to that, and it's not looking too good in that department, if you ask me. And then we move into Sonya saying that she does actually take up for, or she does actually call Marlo out on her stuff. And she actually did call her out on her stuff when as it pertained to the whole recording and her sending it to Toya. This may be probably the only time that we saw Sonya saying anything about anything as it
Going
pertains to
against the
Marlo.
grain for the first time. Yeah.
And it wasn't even initially when it occurred. This was like after. So it still took a little bit of mental work for you to realize, oh, yeah, this lady do become with the BS sometimes and starting stuff. But whatever.
Right.
And Marlo also tries to chime in and say that she was going to give to Sonya's cause and everything like that. She was going to give to it, but she just didn't want to raise her paddle to Kenya. And I was just like, are we in like second grade? Like, do you really just say that?
I don't understand that.
I don't understand that either.
I don't understand why Sanya doesn't see it more so than I don't. Like Sanya, Kenya, did what she needed to do. She got way more money brought to you, and the people that so-called that you hang with didn't really show up for you. Didn't put the paddle up because of Kenya, and you roll with that. All right, weird.
Marlo, go home. And Sonya's like, I've genuinely tried to be your friend, but I don't know, like, if you're genuine back to me, like, you don't show up for me off camera, da-da-da-da-da. And Kenny's like, okay, enough is enough. Like, I don't have to give you my time or my money, girl. Like, and that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. She's always trying to, like, call Kenya out for being such a poor friend to her or having issues with her or whatever. And it's just like, do you see how you always show up? Because it's not always so likable on your end either. Mama?
That hurt. I was like, ooh, that sound mean. Like I didn't have to do nothing. I didn't owe you nothing. I was like, ooh, ouch, ouch, and ouch. Which are true statements, but I don't feel like Kenya was putting herself in Sanya's shoes. Sometimes I feel like Sanya is wanting to cry victim, but she's not a victim. You're just looking for love in all the wrong places because they're not your real friends. The people that you think are your friends, they're showing up for you in a different kind of way that benefits them, not because they're trying to do something to benefit you. They're basically trying to rally you guys all together. Because hasn't it been said that the three of them have been taking pictures on Instagram and stuff, like they're trying to act like they're a real clique so that they can all get brought back next year or in the next season.
Probably.
So it's like, how old are y'all with the clique?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm not surprised.
I think that she just needs to be very mindful of how she's showing up before she starts trying to call somebody else out. Because we see both sides as the viewers. And when Andy asks Candy about her and her speak on it, I don't know if everybody knows, but Candy didn't actually speak on it just to talk solely about Real Housewives. I do know that much. But people would like to know how she gets so upset when the other ladies are shading her, but at the same time she turns to her YouTube channel and speak on it to shade them. And Candy was like, I'm just returning the shade. And
That's true too.
I can't even get mad at that at all. And
that's true too.
Actually, going back to Sonya, I meant to say it in the previous, the first half, the part one, that I really hope that Sonya doesn't turn into like one of those, like Tiffany kind of from like Huntsville when she was pregnant and she was like starting like a lot of stuff verbally, and everybody's like, oh, well, she needs to remember that she's pregnant, like, cause she be acting like she don't remember that she's pregnant and starting stuff and I low key feel like Sonya is that type of person because as soon as the previous episode had started, Sonya said something under her breath to Drew when Drew was like talking about how it's hard out here, I guess, like being single or whatever. And Sonya was quick to say, oh, well, you wouldn't know anything about that yet, or would you? And it was just like unnecessary messiness. And that's the type of stuff that gets you into things that you don't have no business being into if you're the one who's pregnant. But that's just my 2 cents. I don't know if you picked up on that. That was said in the beginning of the part 1. But
hi sister, I'm trying to put your comment up, but my computer is acting crazy. It's showing that it should be up, but it's not pulling up. So hi, my sister Nita. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
Very much so. And then someone asked, why not take a break when you don't want to show your dirty laundry? This was directed at Candy. And honestly, again, although Candy doesn't make me too happy, especially lately, I can never sit here and say with a straight face that she doesn't show her life in all facets of her life. Business, family, relationship, friend stuff. Like she showed every type of
group stuff.
Life.
Yeah. I said group stuff. Yes. Only thing, and you know what's funny too, Barb? On this last speak on it, she was trying to figure out why they didn't show when she did the play, and because the play was in New York, and she said, you know, they could have had a camera crew follow her. She said, now in every state that I went to when I did the concert, different. I understand they can't come to every state when we went, so they showed on Candy Speak on it when they went to Baton Rouge and when they went to Texas and you know all these different states. So she said, I understand they can't follow me to all of these different places, but they could have showed maybe one part of my being at the concert. And then when I got nominated for the EGOT, of course Andy brought it up, but they didn't show it on any other show, and of course her setting up for the play, and they didn't show that either. So even Candy was questioning why they didn't show more her, even though she was busy. It's still the reality of what's going on with her. So I don't know what that was about. Same thing could be said about Kenya, but they've been saying that Kenya might have rubbed the producers the wrong way, and that's why some of her scenes and things were cut, or she wasn't seen in a good light. I don't know.
I believe it. Yeah. And I think that's like the only thing, like you said, that she hasn't really shown, but that's not even by her doing. Right. She let it be known too. She's like, hey, like, you can never say that I don't show my dirty laundry. You can never say I don't share my tea, even when it's negative. Like, you can't say that. And I gotta attest to that too. She does show everything for the most part.
Right. And it's still up to the producers to do it, show it. To be honest,
it is. At the end of the day, they're the ones that are on the cutting room floor. Like,
there it is.
And sure, I laughed at this too. It was definitely in the top 5 when Candy was like, "Well, Sheree, you know all about taking breaks." And
but Sheree Yeah, because Sheree came back with snappy one. Well, when y'all not doing well on the show, they had to call me back to revamp it. I said, well,
that's low key delusional though, because I don't
very
think
much so.
that was that. No, it was low hanging fruit. It's like who we call when we can't call nobody else. That's what it is. Not, oh my goodness, she's the number one person we just have to have on the show. She's the hottest thing out right now. I don't think that's in anybody's mind.
I know what it is. I know what it is, Barbies. She ain't doing nothing. She ain't booked and busy. She wait around for us to call her.
Yes, immediately. She probably didn't even go play hardball and negotiate anything. She's probably like, oh, yep, $5, I'll take it. Like, come on now, bye.
Right.
And then we get back into Marlo's nephew and the shooting and all of that. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. The incident that happened, y'all.
The incident, yeah.
And Andy, you know, he calls out Marlo for reaching for Candy because she's like, you know, at the end of the day, this happened 2 years ago. Like, why is it so significant all of a sudden? And Marlo tries to say that it's always been significant, or she felt a way even when it did happen. And then Candy chimes in and is like, girl, don't put 20 on 10 because you were not even concerned with that, because 2 days later you was talking about Cameo to me and getting to the bag. So which one is it? Like which one is it? And Marlo's all, oh, I just expected more from you is all.
Of course you did.
I just expected more from you is all.
I wanted you to pay for his services. Like, not flowers. I wanted you to pay for the services. And because you did not
call her up, sing a song. Candy's like, I don't even know her like that. Like, what are you saying? And furthermore, if it was that important to you, you didn't even send me the information for the reception or anything. Like you didn't give me no church address, no nothing. So save it. And honestly, again, although she's made me not happy this last couple of weeks, I gotta stand 10 toes down with that too, because it's like, if you wanted something from me, you didn't even give me the proper tools to do so. So bye. And you're bringing it up now because the association is what again?
I get that she was triggered by that, right? I get that she was triggered by it, but at the same time, you still took it out on Drew. You still never apologized to Drew for doing that. If you was triggered by that, that's not unheard of. I get it. You can be well in your right to be triggered by that, but that don't excuse how you handled it, and you didn't handle it well. And Drew definitely didn't deserve for her to jump in her face like that and say it to her. And Candy don't deserve all the flack she's trying to give her. Even Sheree was kind of. They had talked about the even how I want to put this, when she brought up the newsletter, she made it sound like it was more pow-pows than it needed to be. When they're taking two incidents, one that happened at Candy's spot, the other one relates to because the man worked at Candy's spot, not at the time of the incident, but you're trying to tie it. They're trying to tie it together so closely and trying to make it a thing. Like it's Candy's, just with the ghetto-ness of Candy, what Courtney was trying to bring. Now they're trying to put both incidents. If you're not into the show and watching verbatim what's going on, it'll make it seem like these two incidents happened at Candy's spot. And I feel like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it intertwine, make people be confused unless you really watch the show. That's what I got from Marlo talking about Candy and the incident, and even Sheree chiming in about it. You the one got the incidents happen and the pow-pows happen, and the way she worded it, she made it seem like they both happened at the store. And I was like, girl, you're reaching and you're doing too much. Sheree.
Yeah, it definitely was a reach, and I'm glad that was asked because.
No, I get it. I know. You said apologize to Drew for what? I just gave you why. She needs to apologize to Drew for getting in her face for talking about she was talking about her nephew who passed on, and that wasn't even you were like you said she was triggered, right? But why did you jump in Drew's face? Because Drew said Drew didn't want to use that word, but that triggered you so much you jumped in her face. Yeah, no, you owe me an apology because first of all, hold up, I didn't know you was that upset. I didn't know that I was gonna offend you like that. So yeah, she owes Drew an apology for me, in my opinion, for sure, for sure. She's well in her right for this. What you put up right here, she's well in her right to be upset. Did she take it out on the wrong person? Absolutely, and she owes Drew an apology for sure for jumping in her face and saying that to her. And all she has to say is, girl, I was mad at Candy. And everybody is trying to tippy toe around it. And I lost my cool on you. I shouldn't have did that.
That's basically what Candy said. That was her mindset coming into season. She was already on 20 coming into the season.
All she did was yell out as she walked away. No, she jumped in her face and yelled at her. It'd have been different if she walked out that room and never turned in her face and even got that close to her face. Because it took all of me to find out that Drew is really about it because she didn't jump. She didn't flinch. Her flinch wasn't like, and it wasn't like, it was more like, is she serious? You saw what Drew said. Is she serious? Like, what was that about? Because I tell you what, if she would have did that to me once again, she'd jump bad in my face and said, I'm talking about woo wop, I would have pushed her. Because you got in my face and you lunged at me when you said it. You don't lunge at somebody talking about, I gotta dig woo wop. You can't, no. So for me, if she just yelled at her, I would have been all right. It's the fact that she walked up on her and anybody in their right mind would have jumped or flinched or pushed her. Like, girl, get out of my face. I was shocked that Drew didn't do that, especially coming from Chicago.
Yeah, as a friend, I would never do that to you. So that's
no, I wouldn't do that. That's why I say it's an apology, especially if you're still friends. But that goes back to Ray. That goes back to what I said earlier about Drew. Marlo. Marlo talks to Drew and tries to give her sympathy. And yeah, Ralph gaslights you. And then she turn around and say, yeah, Ralph is, I really like Ralph, but in the same thing, yeah, Ralph be gaslighting you. And I'm like, Marlo, which one is it? It's whatever you want it to be in that moment. Marlo is the true flip-flopper. I can't wait for something to find out. I can't wait for Marlo and Sheree to fall out because it's coming. You know why? Because they're both fake, phony, and act a certain way for the cameras. You only gonna be able to do that for so long. Some real gonna come through, and I'm gonna be present, sitting, wait for it.
That's
waiting for it.
That's
I'm sorry. I didn't want to go on tangent. I just I feel bad for Drew in that moment because I feel like that was unwarranted. I mean, triggered and all, it was still unwarranted.
Yeah, it was a lot. And Candy basically equates for Candy, it always boils down to this. Y'all always hold my feet to the fire. But when it comes to the failure of Sheree's website, there was nothing. There was crickets. No one batted an eye. And Candy even goes as far as saying Marlo is jealous when things don't go right for her. And honestly, another top 5 line was when Marlo said, jealous? You work too hard for me. Like, and I understood where she's coming from with that. Like that, honestly, I believe that. I believe that because Candy be working and Marlo seems like a smarter, not harder person. And not saying that working hard is not smart, but she just seems like she's cool with the easier route to wherever we are going. Like that's totally fine in her book. Like she's good with not getting her hands dirty with some stuff, which whatever. Everybody's different. That's cool. And when I tell you guys that Scania once again showed her hand, her biased hand, not the unbiased one. She doesn't have one of those.
Right.
And she goes as far as saying, like, you know, both of you guys were taking it the wrong way, like da 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 da. And I'm just like, why you're once again not holding the person who needs to be held accountable above all. You're not holding that person accountable, sweetheart. You're not. And you're talking about she wasn't trying to, or she was trying to attach it to Candy's business. I'm like, that's probably the only true thing that you said. She was trying to attach it. She was trying to draw all these dots and connections between the situation that I just don't think needed to be drawn or connected to, I should say. Like, it wasn't. But in the end, they agree to be cordial, unless you're Candy, who needs to let it be known that, you know, she'll be cordial, but if she wants to come at me with that type of energy, she's going to get the same type of energy every time. I can't really fault her for that. So then, after this, y'all, we are joined by Ralph Pittman. Ralph Pittman joins the stage.
Oh, gosh.
And after a little bit of an awkward exchange, or lack thereof, I should say, because Drew did not want to speak at all at first.
I'm so mad I didn't take a picture of him being so somber looking. If he wasn't playing in all of our faces with the sad look, and then the way he was talking, like, no, I love my wife. And I was like, did somebody slip him something, a downer? Because he was so trying to be so calm, cool, and collected. No, Drew. No. I was like, oh my gosh. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You just made me mad. I'm mad I didn't take a picture of him.
Me too.
I wanted.
Me too. I think this is like the first time, at least on this franchise, that we've had this type of setting, because Andy was still in the middle, Ralph was next to Sheree, and then Drew was still in the front right here. I don't believe we've ever gotten a scene like this where it was just one husband and all the housewives there, and we were just hashing it out like this. So this is the moment we've been waiting for, right? And finally, after Ralph at least answers the question, I think Andy asks something along the lines about how things have been going with them under one roof, you know, even though they're pending divorce. And Ralph says, you know, they communicate and try to be the best parents that they can be. And I already knew where this was going. I already knew where this was completely going. And, you know, again, Drew finally did chime in, thanks to Kenya, really, who was like, okay, this is awkward. This is not going anywhere. Like, we don't have time for this. Like, Drew, you got to answer. And I think that was probably her best bet, because that's to make yourself look better and to help this thing speed along. And Drew says, we're here, period. We get a recap of them over the season with their tumultuous relationship and all of the ups and downs. I mean, actually, oops, did I say ups? I don't really think that there was any ups. I think it was all downs.
It was, because remember, it was a up, because in the beginning, Drew was like, this is the best.
That was a fake up.
I know, but all I'm saying is what she said.
That's like when you go up.
That's where you got the up for.
That's when your car rolls back when you're trying to go up the hill. Like, that's what they were doing. It was like trying to be up, going back. It was going back. Got the emergency brake. Ralph says, actually, no, before he says that, I don't know where this came from. I don't know where the fruits are coming from, but Drew produces a peach now, and she gives it over. She passes it over to Ralph, because, I mean, I honestly wasn't even mad at this point, because we all know that he wants to be a peach holder. We all know that he was very, very excited to get an invitation to come and film this reunion. He was jumping out of his skin to get on this stage and be in front of the camera, because we know that he wants to be the main character at all times.
I kind of died though a little bit when freaking Drew goes tell him, why are you here? And he said, well, we invited him here. I said, Drew, stop being passive aggressive, because she was being very passive aggressive with him. And I understand y'all live in the same house, y'all don't talk, y'all divorced, and I get it, but let's not ask why he's there. Like, come on, girl.
Like, I can't even do this. So they're currently going through mediation. And Andy's like, okay, well, what are the rules up under the house? And I don't even remember what was said, but I just know that it was a whole bunch of BS. And we quickly find out that Ralph loves his wife. And the reason he's here is so his kids have a correct representation of who their father is.
Because why? There's so many fake there's so many fake allegations out there that you're not a good father.
I agree, Ray.
I definitely agree with this, Ray.
Even in this situation,
we finally agree, Ray. Look, Ray, we finally agree.
Even in this conversation, somewhere down the line, I remember her saying that she still respects like the sanctity of marriage, and she just doesn't believe in putting everything out there. And I'm just like, at this moment, what are you protecting?
Allison said the same thing when she had her sit down with Mims. Y'all haven't seen that interview, go check that out. Make it make sense. When we did the sit down with Allison, she said the same thing, that the way they were brought up, just like a lot of us were, what's inside these walls, stay inside these walls. What's in this house stays in this house. So if there's marital things going on or abuse or anything, we are really taught not to say nothing, right? So I got it when she ended up saying, she was what I feel is that she was trying to protect Ralph at all costs. That's why she was lying so much about them and their relationship being the best at that time, even though she knew that they were going through problems. She wasn't going to tell that. She was just going to do exactly what she did, which was come out and be like, oh, it's time for a divorce. Like, wait, what? Wouldn't y'all just making albums, making music, best time ever, and all this other stuff? Child, when she said that part, but the IRS, I almost like, oh, child, you put a lot on right here, girl. You still married to her, remember?
I was about to say, all business. It reminded me of the whole was it Jamal and Giselle? Like, I was like, you might want to stop. But and yes, that was actually the justification she used for saying that, that they were basically not fronting for the cameras. Like,
yeah, girl, bye. Yeah, girl, bye.
Why did you even attempt? Okay, whatever. They still have not told the children that they're separating. And he says that he's been faithful, and she says the same. Okay. Whatever.
Okay. Whatever.
But then he quickly asks, well, what about Ty? And I'm like, oh, well, here we go.
But did you peep out? When he asked her about Ty? You see, here go what I would have wanted her to say. What about Ty? She didn't say nothing. It was like she ended up kind of playing into it.
Stop playing is all I got from her.
I was just like, Drew, I know you're trying not to get this man on rhythm, but you are starting to look like what he wants you to, what he wants you to look like. Hey, my sister, my computer's coming in wrong, but I know I can see it on my phone that you just came in. My computer's acting up, so I will be putting your comment in. It's okay that you're late. We forgive you. Now it's on my phone, but it's not on my computer. It's so funny. My computer has been laggy the whole live. So we thank you for being here, though, sister. Just make sure you hit the like button on both. Now it popped up. So yeah, I just had to go and put that part in because They get on my nerve. They get on my nerve. They get on my nerve.
And Drew's whole thing is, stop playing in my face. You stay embarrassing me. You've always chosen other women over me. You quit going to counseling because Dr. Ken called you on your ish. We're not going to do this. I thought you were actually going to come out here. We were actually going to have a nice conversation, because you were just apologizing and saying something else a couple days ago. So stop playing in my face, Ralph. He says that it was actually her assistant. Actually, no, she brings up Mimi's name first, because she says, that you got together with Mimi to put this whole narrative out there. And he was like, actually, it was your assistant, Danny, that told me about the relationship.
Did we blaze over, I don't mean to cut you off, did we blaze over the fact that she did come up with those receipts? Did you talk about that when I went on off for a minute? That Sheree had pulled out those text messages with Todd.
Yeah, I said that they were blank. And then we're going to get the ones with him. Yeah. They were blank. Okay. Not blank. They never told us what it said. So
right. We don't know what was said on those text messages. Okay, so now when you're bringing it up, go ahead.
You wanted to go more into detail?
No, I don't remember us talking about it now that we're bringing it full circle, because Drew was saying, excuse me, it all came from Rock. It all came from Rock. That's what she's saying. And now I'm just like, because remember, she was basically saying, Sheree saying that those papers was brought to her house. She didn't say who brought them or how they get there or none of that.
I think it was Ray that mentioned the gate not where she gate not working or something.
You know what? I cannot. I missed that.
Girl, how is someone just waltzing up to your front door just all willy-nilly and dropping off something and taking off into the night? Like what? I don't believe none of that. It's either you knew it was him and it happened like that, or it happened like that. Like, that's the only way it could have happened. I don't care. No one can tell me different.
Right. Okay.
But this is the part where I really was upset with Candy, y'all. I got really, really, really upset with her because she was the first one to basically chime in and substantiate what Ralph was saying about that it was the assistant. We saw this assistant, Danny, or whoever he was, one of Drew's many people that she has around her. He was the one that was on her when she was on set. And we also saw him when she was at home when they had that whole thing.
That's the one that clown, that the one that Ralph clown. Talk about, can you get out of that?
Get out of
it. Yeah. That's Danny. And
so, honestly, at this point, I'm just like it's like a ping pong match. I'm just looking back and forth.
Yes, for sure.
I don't know who to believe or not to believe at this. I'm believing certain tidbits over here, but I'm also looking like it's not looking too good on this side either. So I don't even know. And Drew, this is when Drew then shares her phone of receipts and passes it around. And apparently it was a big booty woman saying, when is he going to bring that dick back? Their words, not mine.
Yeah, and in the words of Ralph, that was catfish. It was catfish.
Okay.
Which means, how would you know that? Because in order to get catfish, that means you followed the wire to find out that you was being catfished. Which means you entertained it. Which means you did something to find out if you are saying that's a catfish. There was something you did to find out that was a catfish. So yeah, no, go ahead.
Like it was just so weird, so freaking weird.
That's what I'm saying right here. Right, but look what Ray said.
Stop making me laugh. Oh my god, that's probably what happened though. I like that. No, that is something I do.
My thing is this, Ray, and Barb, anybody in the sound of my voice. Why is Drew having all these people around her, and these people are coming for you? The lady that didn't cook well for y'all, wanted to be your babysitter, she came for you guys. Now you got, this is like your second assistant that came for you, because the other assistant came for you with Sheree. Remember when he had came for her, and he actually had Sheree's name in his mouth too. The one that came to Candy, hey Candy, and all that stuff. I'm just saying that to say that you need to be more selective in the people that she brings around her household and protect your sanity.
Is that not the oldest rule in the book? Not even as it pertains like on this level, but like just even everyday people. Like you just don't bring everybody into your house. You don't let everybody know where you live. Like you just don't. That's your safe space, and you should be more mindful, especially when you have kids in the mix. Like, why are all these people up and through here all the time? I don't even like people enough to like be like, oh yeah, I want 50 people around me all the time. Like, I like my alone time.
No. Yvette said, did you notice that Marlo appeared relieved when Andy said it was a woman?
I got to go back and watch that part. I heard that someone mentioned that on their review. I cannot remember. I wish I could. I got to go back and watch that.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't see that. Okay. Hey, get them cuties in that chat. Get them cuties in that chat. Put my cuties in the chat. My cuties. Put my cuties in the chat.
Mm-hmm. And Marlo also substantiated what Ralph said about the assistant, or she heard that or whatever. And like I said,
right. And Candy did it too. Candy said it first.
And that's what Marlo came in off, because I'm like, Candy, you could have just been quiet. Like, I just would rather her been quiet than to say something that's going to give more fuel to what he's saying. Like, just don't say anything at all. Like, that's it.
That's it. If I remember, the Anthony guy.
Yeah, that's him.
I was like, I can't think of his name, but remember, he was another one that was in the mix.
Yes.
In the mix that was with Sheree and had them both in a tizzy.
She's had more incidents going poorly with having people up in her house and around her than positively. So that should just tell you something right there. The ratio is totally imbalanced. So apparently Vegas was a work event. This is also, by the way, they've also been dealing with all this since 2017, which again, so it shows that every single time you put on a smile and said, oh, we're great. Oh my God, never better. That was a lie. Lie detector says that was a lie. Isn't that what to say? Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
Yes, Maury. Yes, like, Maury, Miss World.
You can't sit here and tell me. I would actually be good at that job. I feel like that would be fun.
Yeah, you gotta have a good poker face. That's all you gotta do.
This has been going on since Chicago. Like, girl, like, come on. First of all, if this is going on before we move to a new state, I'm not even bringing you to the new state. You staying in Chicago. Like, there's no need for us to move together then. If it's going so poorly, like, but goodbye. Right. Get out of here.
Right.
And Vegas was a work event, so we're being told. And apparently even Candy called the director, some of the Black Magic Mike or whatever, and he did say that Ralph was going to be there, freaking or whatever. So
audition. He was going to audition.
He was going to be there auditioning. So I guess we'll believe that for now. But then I also heard Candy saying something under her breath about like, oh yeah, you should do that when BravoCon is or whatever, because you get a lot of people signing up or whatever. And I'm just like, Candy, again, be quiet. Like,
you know, she can't sit on a good idea. That's her problem. Her good idea.
That's why people say that it's all cool when it's happening to us, but when it's happening to you, it's a different story. That's why people say what they say. But let me not get triggered.
Don't get triggered, sister. Don't get triggered.
So apparently, Ralph made a comment to Drew along lines of that he had been getting blowjobs all around the world, Ralph then says and plays in our faces and says, do you see how crazy that sounds? I haven't even been all over the world.
Oh, he gets on my nerve. He gets on my nerve.
At that moment, pluck him. I just want to pluck him at that moment.
Yes.
And Andy, this was also another good top 5 moment because Andy's like, well, I mean, is it true? Like, did you? Like, I don't know. And I would have been the same way. Like, I don't know you from a can of paint, sir. And your track record's not looking so good because, again, what happened in Tampa? Oh, we know what happened in Tampa. Courtney was in Tampa, wasn't she? Inquiring minds want to know. So Ralph says, as it pertains to the adoption of it all, there's only 3 reasons why an adoption should happen: abuse, abandonment, or death. Something tells me that that's not what he said when he said in the first place, when they first got married or whatever, that he was going to adopt.
Yeah.
Something about that, like, I just don't believe that's what he was said back then. I don't.
That's what his cousin Courtney told him to say that.
See, this is what was missing. Like, okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Never a dull moment. Okay. Wow. Okay. I can't even say that I don't believe that either. Again, because these are people and the craziest things are happening. So I can believe anything at this point. And Ralph says, he's always loved his wife. And Drew says, actually, I don't even want to say that first. Back to what I was saying about the adoption. His whole thing is he doesn't want to take away somebody's ability to be there for their child as a Black father. He didn't have his father in his life like that, and he would just couldn't live with himself if he would go ahead and adopt this child from up under a man that apparently has been more active. And Drew even, I forget what Andy said, but I think Andy asked for something along the lines of, have they been communicating more? Has he been coming around more? Something like that. And Drew did say yes. So I guess that's not a lie. But again, that doesn't negate the fact that you said in the beginning that you were going to adopt this child, and you wouldn't even as far as to write a book inspired by y'all's stepfather to son relationship or being a step parent or whatever it was. And now, next thing we know, we find it very funny that all of a sudden that's just like totally out the question. You couldn't do that because you care so much about their relationship and you don't want to rob him of that and da-da-da-da-da. It's not connecting. Once again, it's not connecting. His cousin on the mattress centers. I gotta read these comments. Oh my gosh.
My thing is lagging. I've been trying to put it up.
Exactly. Money grab. It's giving money grab. My hands are sticky and I'm just grabbing all the money. Like, that's what it looks like to me. And this is when, and I said it before, that this episode, this reunion or whatever, made me completely kind of start thinking about things a little bit differently and just kind of think that everybody's playing in our face right now, Drew included. That when Ralph wanted to come out his face and say that he's always loved his wife, and Drew said that she loves him and wishes for reconciliation, but he's just not a safe space for her. Her feelings have never been safe with him, and that's just where it is. And I'm just like, did y'all both just say that? I don't believe that they're gonna get a divorce anymore fully.
I don't think they're gonna get a divorce either. Only because they just got a really weird way to communicate with each other, and a weird way that they move around in the world to show us that, oh yeah, we can show y'all we can do this. What you laughing at? What Ray? What Noah said? Yes. You know what? I can't. I want to address this. Courtney told the truth while Drew got caught in her lies. The funny thing about that, I can roll with that. The only problem is Courtney is telling Ralph's truth Courtney don't have nothing to do with it. And I need her to go have several seats and let Ralph and his wife deal with it. Because as you saying that, understand that Courtney was on speak on it and said Ralph's a liar and Drew's a liar. So with that being said, I don't think that Courtney told the truth. Courtney told whatever was told her. So I'm not gonna say it's the truth. I'm gonna just say that she definitely is being puppeteered. Ralph is Geppetto, and we all can see it. Now, if you want to go ahead and be on this reunion saying that, but then turn around and get on one, speak on it, and say, yeah, they both lied, then I'm like looking at you sideways because you was going up for Ralph. So tough, cousin Courtney. Okay, I'm back. Go ahead.
Oh no, I get what you're putting down. I definitely understand.
She said they both lie, Ray. I don't know if you know that she said that, but she said she said Ralph lies. Well, Ralph lies. And we all know Drew lies. I was like, girl. And what are you? The truth serum?
Drew, you're acting right now. You're also acting right now, sir. And so at this point, Drew has had enough. She's like, I'm out of here. I can't take his lies. I'm going. And she storms off. And then we have Marlo saying, Drew, you left your purse. That did make me laugh. I can't even lie. I did.
Yeah, right there. I was like, what does that mean? Somebody about to steal her purse? What does that mean, Marlo? What was that for? I wish somebody would have been like, Marlo, what you trying to say?
I laughed.
Somebody wants her purse? The only thing that's in there is props. Ain't no wallet, ain't no phone, there's nothing in there.
There was fruit.
Props.
Fruit.
It was probably dog treats in there next.
Grapes, cherries, banana. Yeah, it was all up in there.
Didn't refute Ralph in the bio. Oh, yeah, she can't. She didn't, but Drew didn't refute Ralph in the bio dad in JoJo's life.
Oh yeah. So
we know that. We know that.
But that still doesn't negate the fact that you said that you was like.
No, I don't see nobody putting nothing to his head talking about. Oh no, you had to. Well, I take that. I take that back. Right. I take that back because I do recall. I feel like in how I remember it is that he said it, and then Drew and the mama was hounding him for it, but it came out of his mouth. I feel like it was his idea because it fit the narrative of him writing the book. So it was his idea to make himself look bigger. And then when it started getting bigger and it took on its own life and was like, so you were going to adopt the baby. He's like, oh, no. His daddy's in the picture. Like his daddy been in the picture. He's just locked up. He been in the picture though. Been there. It was physically there. So when did you decide that you wanted to adopt him? And when did it become, no, I only if this and this happens is the only way I can adopt him. When did the switch change?
I don't even, you got me. And meanwhile, Drew is backstage now crying to Allison, getting her makeup touched up. Like she's just too through. And Allison says, well, why don't you tell him about the PI? So apparently Drew hired a PI at some point. And
maybe it was Tammy. Maybe it was Tammy Roman and her crew.
Maybe. Who knows? Unfaithful, caught in the act. Who really knows? But I just find it funny once again that instead of revealing that information, Drew resorts to gotta still protect my marriage because at the end of the day, I'm still married. Like, no, at this point, you just said that this man has been continuously embarrassing you for years. So sorry, sometimes you gotta pay people back with the same thing that they pay you, which is you embarrass him then. Maybe that's childish to me, but if I was her it would be no holds barred at this point. Like
right.
you because someone's actions, just because someone says they love you or they care about you or whatever, go off their actions, y'all, because his actions say something totally otherwise. He can say all day as he's blue in the face that he loves her, but his actions have consistently showed us otherwise. So no, we don't believe that, and you shouldn't care about somebody if they don't care about you. Anyway, at this time, meanwhile, back on the stage, Kenya gives her 2 cents. She kind of weighs in on it because she sees something that's probably super familiar to what her situation was, because Ralph and Mark are 2 birds of a feather. And she's like, you know, you're always so quick to take the enemy side. You never want to back up your wife. Like that's the issue here.
That definitely is.
You know, Courtney, she got all this information from you at the end of the day. Like, you can't sit here and tell us that.
Because Rob said,
like, come on now, we're not buying it.
No, that was good. She could have made that a song.
Marlo with her, I always tell you positive words. Ew. Sonia and Monietta, I don't know, but at some point they went back and checked on Drew. And then she comes back out. And Ralph also takes time to try to shade Kenya for getting him together. Then he tries to say, whoa, well, how long have you been married? And she's like, 2 years. And what? I'm still calling it like I see it.
What difference does it make? Yeah, she was in that.
So he spews more BS before Drew comes out, y'all, and gives a performance of her new song that has been inspired by their marriage or what have you. Andy sits next to Kenya and Drew sings. And it was really cringy, at least to me it was. And I thought, again, these people are not getting divorced. Because if someone was dogging me to those levels, there would be no check in the world that would be worth me sitting up there and looking crazy, singing to you. And I don't even, at this point, if I was Drew, if he did all that to me, I wouldn't even see him like at all. Like I would be so just removed from him. Like, you don't even matter to me anymore. That I wouldn't even had to do this, like, at all. But I
definitely would have gave him my ass. I would have been singing, and my ass would have been to him. Like, I ain't about to turn around and sing to you. And I know that was hard. It was cringy. I was like, girl, you giving him too much. You're giving him too much. Or maybe that's what you want to do to make you have that teeter-totter relationship you guys have. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah. We're having so much fun. We're going up and down, up and down. It's like, girl, you're not. It's not fun to watch for sure.
Andy's sitting next to Kenya. Drew was like singing to him. Like, it was just weird. So freaking.
The fact that Andy got on the couch, that was funny.
It really was. He was like, "Oh, I like this. I'm starting to like this couch better than I like the chair." I was like,
"Man."
Shit.
But I like Drew's voice. I do like Drew's voice. She has a very nice voice. She
sounded good, but it was just like,
why I could deal without the song.
Why is this happening in front of me right now, y'all? But honestly, after that, I think Sheree, because she's the resident OG, gave her like where she wants to see things or how she sees things. Well, I don't even know. I didn't write notes for that because I didn't care. I think they toast, and that was really it. Ralph came up to Drew and was like trying to check on her or whatever. Like, bye, go away. Like, real quick before he exited the stage. And yeah, that was really it, y'all.
Like I said, what we started off in saying, I know a lot of you guys joined us late. I said I walked away from this reunion with more questions than answers. And that should not happen for us. We don't get to the end of the season for us to go reiterate all of what happened during the season and have more questions than answers.
So what do you give it on this? What do you give the reunion on a scale of 1 to 10? Both parts.
Both parts are 6.5.
Oh wow, that's
I'm gonna give them a 6.5, and that's together. That's like, so if I was doing 1 and 1, it'd be 3.5. 3. I'm saying it to say I was disappointed in it. I did not like the back and forth between Kenya and Candy. I didn't like how deep Sheree was trying to come for Candy, and I understand, like I said, Candy got a lot of people that don't like her. I just didn't feel the way Sheree was trying to come at her like, I look better than you. You can't hold, you can't do this, you can never be with me, and you can never. And I'm like, yes, you could, yes, you could, yes, you could. Stop doing that, because you look good to some people. You don't look good to everybody, and Candy looks good to some people, and not everybody. So y'all in the same boat. So stop doing that. I don't like that. Don't come to people like that. And then Drew and her husband, I don't want to. I don't need them to come back, because I know everybody's like, oh, she brought something to the table. There's a lot going on. I don't care no more. I don't. I don't care if she's in the closet. I don't care if she's not in the closet. I don't care if she wants to be with Ralph and they work it out. I don't care about that no more, because y'all both show that y'all can lie at a drop of a hat. And I'm not here for that. So I don't need to see them come back. Sheree being an OG, look bored. Look bored. Or don't need her to be the OG. She doesn't bring anything to the table. The fact that she is the OG and she brings this to the table, bored. She nobody's what do they call it? Nobody's peacemaker. Nobody's trying to get the girls together. And I want everybody to come together and have a sisterhood. And it's like, girl, wait, say that again? Wait, let me read this comment. Ain't Candy the real OG 14 years straight? No, like literally, even though she came in on the second season, she really is basically why she's still here. Candy is still here for that reason right there, because she's been here for 14 years straight. Sheree, you've been here since the first season, but how many seasons did you go off and how many seasons did you come back on? So you have not been for straight 15 years. We have not seen you, child. And stop trying to do that to us, because it's given. We remember, honey.
The North remembers. Yeah,
So yeah, I don't, if they revamp the show with that, they need to do something.
Wait, 4, 5, 6. Sheree's only been on 8 seasons.
Okay. 8 out of 15 is almost out. Actually, we're at Sweet 16. So she's been on half of the episodes out of the while.
Season.
Let's go here, Ray. Not only have 8,
she was a friend on season 8.
That's fine. Okay, so she's a peach holder. But let's even go here with it. Let's go a step further. She's been Candy's been an OG for 40 years, right? And she also have had tags for 14 years. And we've been waiting for 14 years on She But She Cannot. Huh? That's all I'm gonna say. Like, that doesn't even make sense. It makes no sense. So yeah. With that being said, y'all let us know down below in the comments, especially Playback Gang. Let us know what y'all think. Who should come, who should not. What OG is the real OG when we just told y'all that Sheree has been on 7 seasons, and one season she was a friend of the show. When Candy has been on for 14 seasons and haven't had a break. So y'all let us know what y'all think. Who should come back? Who should not? Who y'all checking for? Are y'all here for Sweet 16 season? Are y'all here for it to come back at the end of this year? Y'all here for it to come back next year? I'm here for it to come back next year. I'll put the first poll up and answer my own poll. The side chicks of RHOA. I like it.
That's what is good.
I like it. Any last words, little sister?
No, y'all, it's been real. We enjoyed giving you this content and coming up here every week or every other week throughout this entire season. Y'all still let us know what you want to see next. I think we kind of have an idea, but y'all still always give us your opinions, your suggestions, recommendations, and what have you. It's been a really, really good time, although it was lackluster in several parts. I had a good time with y'all. I guess we'll see if we're back again for this, or if not, or if it looks different next time. I guess we'll see.
We shall see. Y'all already know that we appreciate you guys for being here, rocking with us for almost 3 hours. We're sorry it ran over late, but we had got to get through 2, and it was a finale, and we had to make it better than what it was, because you know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think all the bloggers and people that did the reviews and stuff, I feel like they made the season better than what the season was really given.
For real. We only talked about 4 topics. If you think about it, we talked about what, 4 or 5 topics at the reunion? The kiss, Ralph and Drew, freaking Courtney. Like, we talked about the same 5 things that we've been talking all season, y'all. And I don't know yet, but this has been the first 2-part reunion, I say it again, since season 3. That's how whack it's been around here.
Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to end the live, but of course my computer is acting up, so it's about to be funny for me to try to end the live. Okay, there you go. Everything popped back up where I needed to be at. The pause was funny to me. That pause was funny. But yeah, I'm trying to end our show, our live, but I gotta make sure that it will end and that we ain't just about to be stuck up here. But yeah, you guys, we really thank y'all for rocking with us in this season 15 RHOA season. It's been cool. Me and Barb, we tried to give it to y'all as good as we could give it to y'all, because y'all already seen what it was. It wasn't giving much, but we tried to give it. So yeah, y'all.
It's been a good time, and we will be back with some more things. So y'all stay tuned. Don't forget to like the video. Shout outs to the replay gang, and follow us on all of our social media. They're in the description boxes, and that's really all I got.
Mm-hmm. Me too. That's all I got. I hope my outro plays. If it does and we come back, it's only because my computer is acting up and I'm going to unplug it from the wall. I'm just playing. So yeah, y'all. We love y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us. And we shall see you on the flip side when we come back for whatever we come back for. Y'all just stay tuned for it. All right?
Stay tuned.
Love y'all.
I love haters.